closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.
Love you, man.
Stop grabbing me.
I'm sorry.
Hello, everybody.
We've made up.
Welcome to Live at the Bike. It's a Thursday night, another night of Live at the Bike. What a show last night. That's a show as we go on, like when we go to do Vegas, the main event, and the Rio Convention, we're doing reruns or over some Christmas break. That really might have been one of the best, if not the best, overall shows that we've ever had on last night.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Really was the action. Hand
after hand after hand. It was amazing.
We saw amazing bluffs, check-raising bluffs,
Yeah.
bluffs, beating bluffs.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal.
It was crazy. Well, tonight is going to be another 300 to 500 restricted buy, no limit game, 5-5 blinds.
And it promises to be better than even last night.
Really?
I think so. I mean, look at the
that would be
action.
a hell of a
You look at
feat.
the players in this lineup, it's crazy.
Let's head over to the table.
Let's do
And then
it.
we'll talk about why Dave just did a little homo scene with me here.
Seat number one, we've got, I'm not sure if homo, is that politically correct?
I don't know.
To say that?
Gay scene with me.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that better?
We've got Joseph in seat number one. Now, Joseph, he's new to the show, but he's from the East Coast, and he is known back on the East Coast as one of the biggest action players. I mean, he's a crazy gambler. And he promises to bring some action to the game tonight. Seat number two, we've got Alan, and not much about him. Seat number three, we've got Kia. He's all over the map. I mean, he plays 20-40 last night.
Yeah, he was in the game last night, huh?
And now he's playing here. Seat number four, Aaron now. Aaron is the Andy Block lookalike.
Yeah, is he, I don't think he's ever played on the show.
He's not, but you know what? Comes from the same school of Andy Block, and he is also a crazy, crazy guy. Really mixes it up.
Yo, you know he's played.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Yeah.
Nut. Seat number five is Michael. And Michael, you know, he's a big guy. Seat number six, we've got Roy. Don't know much about Roy. He's played a few times on the show. Seat number seven is Dr. Beebe. And you know what?
Need we say more?
Yeah, I mean, Action Dan Harrington has nothing on Action Dr. Beebe.
Yep.
Crazy man he is. Seat number eight, we got Ryan. And Ryan, you know, he's annoying. He just is. Seems like a nice enough guy. I know he means well, but he's just an annoying guy. He really is. Seat number 9 is Ruben. Like the sandwich. Like the sandwich. There he is, Ruben.
Man.
And we've got Live at the Bike, 5-5 blinds.
Yellow chips are $5 chips, blues are ones. Gonna start this night off here with the button in seat 5, Michael's hand, and it's limped around 5 ways. King 8-4 rainbow here, and we got a King 10 in there for Roy. Ronnie making the early mistake. Turns a 4. He did not bet on the king.
Yeah.
And now he's going to bet out. He's going to bet 20.
Right. Don't worry about Ronnie. You'll get it next hand. The hand's over already. Good job.
Ronnie was cutting down on sugar, and I said, "You want a Red Bull?" And I went and I bought him a Red Bull, but I bought it with sugar by mistake. And he's like, "Just don't tell anybody." I think he's jolted up.
Bud moves over to seat number 6.
So a lot of things to talk about. Trinidad, England. It was really entertaining, man. I was holding on, Dave. 80th minute, I'm like, is this really going to happen? And the funny thing with Trinidad
I was sweating it out, I got to tell you.
against Sweden was Trinidad never came close to scoring except that one time in the second half against Sweden.
Right.
Trinidad could have easily been up 1-0.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was unbelievable.
Anybody who watched the game,
Yeah.
John Terry actually saved the game for England when he literally kicked the ball on the goal line out that was headed in.
Got a raise here to 25 by Allen with Jack 10. Now, Dr. Beebe's in this. Oh, excuse me. Button's going to call here with Ace Queen offsuit.
And BB's the good old 10-3. He's not going to play.
Yeah.
We're going to see this heads up. Pot is about $55.
Actually, Ryan's going to come in here with the deuces in the big
I'm
line.
sorry.
Yeah. So, want to see 3-way action here? Allen, the pre-flop raiser. Well, look at this. And he has hit. What a nice flop for Jack 10. 10, 9, 8.
It really is. And you imagine this will go bet, fold, fold.
45.
He's going to bet 45. I mean, that's a hand, too. You know, sometimes I talked about the problem with Jack 10 and that I was limping in with it too much from up front because it is a hard hand to play out of position. But if I'm heads up and a board comes like that, and I think my opponent has an overpair, you can really make a push with Jack 10 because they know, I mean, somebody who knows me, Dave, who knows I'm betting my two pair, my straight, my set. Are kings really a hand that they want to go to war with on that flop?
You know, I forgot to ask you, were you paying attention? Evelyn actually walked right behind me. The hand when I showed down Jack 10 of diamonds.
No, I was in here.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
I've got to, I mean, it's not a hand for the blog. It's not that interesting. And I can tell it really easily on the show. So our viewers will know what I'm talking about because it's just the most peculiar hand I'll ever see. But we'll see what happens. Get to it in a minute.
$35 raise here with Ace King by Aaron. Pretty standard stuff. Michael easily gets away from the suited ace. And I don't think we're going to see a flop there.
Aaron, Andy Block, takes it down. Yeah, it was the weirdest thing. The flop comes out. I'm in like mid-ish to laced position, and I limp in with Jack 10 of diamonds.
Yeah.
The button calls me, and everybody else. And the button calls, and I thought it was the call. The flop comes out Jack Deuce Deuce. Rainbow. Okay? I put a little $25 bet in there. Okay? Just to see where I'm at. And the button calls me, and everybody else folds.
Okay.
So the pot's like maybe $80, something like that. The turn is an ace. Okay, so now I'm like, okay, good. If the guy had a jack, I'm like, we're chopping it up now. I have jacks and deuces with an ace kicker. My 10 doesn't play. So I bet another $25. Real weak, kind of blockish bet. Let's just see where he's at. See if he's going to raise me with his deuce. Maybe he has a deuce. Who knows? He calls. The river, I put a little $40 bet out there when like a 6 fell. Okay? He calls me. I go, okay, we chopping it. I turn on my Jack 10.
And it was good.
He taps the table. He goes, no, that's good.
Yeah.
What the hell are you calling? The board was Jack Deuce Deuce.
Maybe pocket eights or something.
And he called me the whole way. I'm like,
we got Joseph and Ruben in here. Joseph had the heart draw, and he made it here. He's got the nuts. And look at this. He does not bet Ruben with the king 9. And actually, Ruben's made trip 9s now.
and is Ruben going to get in trouble here?
And Ruben checks the trip 9s, and now Joseph is going to bet.
Yeah, Joseph learned this on the East Coast, and he's going to employ the play here.
Now, can you probably, if he's playing, yeah, he's just a check call there with the king 9.
Wow, that's really passive by Ruben. I mean, to actually not bet it. And he lost the minimum. He really did. Nice read there by Ruben.
He did check the turn there with the made flush.
Yeah.
We did a new episode of the video blog up today, Dave.
Yes,
and,
we did.
We actually went over the hand that we had a heated disagreement about yesterday, Barry's hand against Ava with a flush. And we also took Jason's hand. Jason, the guy who always signs off, see you at the river.
Right.
So, again, you can always email us with hand for blog in the subject. And hopefully we will get to your hand one of these days in the blog. And we have really, I find it a funny email that we got during the day today. And I'm going to read it up here in a second.
Quite humorous.
Dr. BB is going to come in with a raise here with Queen Jack off suit.
Try to buy himself the button, and he does not buy himself the button.
Yeah, Ryan calls with 6s, but you got to imagine if BB bets here, Ryan's going to get out of there.
Yep. And I don't know if Ryan had enough money to really
Ryan
call a raise
really
at sixes.
can't be making that call there because he's on the short stack.
And the only reason I'm going to be on Ryan a little bit is twofold. First off, Ryan is the kind of guy, and I know he's done this with you numerous times. Ryan worked here for about, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when he worked here, 6 on the turn, by the way.
Yeah.
When he worked here, he would numerously come up behind you while you were in the middle of a game or a hand even, and just slam you hard on the back, right?
And you know how I love that.
Who likes that?
Yeah,
I mean, I know you hate it, but who the hell likes that?
Somebody comes and tap. Ronnie did it to me yesterday. He gave me like the lightest tap on the back, right? Was that you, Ronnie?
And you freaked out. I know you
jumped.
Well, that's you. He has got a couple of ladies. Queen of Spades, Queen of Diamonds.
Hey, look at this. Dr. BB's going to bring this one in for a $20 raise with 10-5. You wonder if he's going to trying to play like the Dr. Allen when he moved down, kind of playing it, trying to lag it up like Mike. Let's see what Key is going to do here. I got to tell you, against Dr. BB, I might not re-raise with queens. Unless he's re-raising a lot.
No, I'm definitely raising this because I want to know information. I want to know where I'm at. Remember, if you smooth call with queens, the flop comes out 9 high, you get no information. Now, BB is going to give me the information. just by simply calling a raise. When I make it 75 to go, I will know where
Okay,
he's
how
at.
about jacks or tens? You're probably going to just call out a blind.
No, I might probably still raise it for the same reason.
Yeah.
I just want to know where I'm at. You know what I mean? I don't want the flop to come out 6 deuce deuce and have no idea if I'm good or not.
I mean, when he's playing in the bigger games, though, you don't really need any information because you know he has one of 2 hands when he raises preflop.
Right, exactly.
Aces or kings.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
That's it.
Yeah.
There is no information.
In
that
this
you
game,
need.
I want to raise just
Right.
to get a little bit of information. He's raising again now.
He's got ace jack.
3rd hand in a row he's raising.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's the first reason why Ryan is somewhat annoying. The second reason, actually, is if you're ever playing with him, he will sometimes take
A long time.
like 6 minutes for like a $14 decision.
So BB brought it in with ace jack. Allen calls with 9-10 and jack 10 suited for seat number 9.
Well, Ace Jack is still in the lead, and BB's going to put a little continuation bet out there.
Going to get it done.
I imagine so.
He's going to bet 40, and that is going to get it done. And actually, you know what? I don't think that Ryan is a bad guy. Yes, he's a bit annoying. I think his intentions are good. But I think that he will often come up to me and ask advice about strategy and about the show, kind of similar to Mark. And I assume that he's going to go back and watch, so we're not really going to hold any punches. I mean, for his benefit in this game.
Right. No, definitely
You know what
not.
I mean? Just go back and...
No, like I said, he means well.
Right.
He just,
Yeah.
It always drives me nuts if I'm sitting in a game and a guy takes like 6 minutes, because I will never call for a clock in a cash game. I think
Right.
it's rude to ask for a clock. But at the same time, if the pot is $40, you're in a 5-10 game, and the guy bets 25 in the river, don't take 5 minutes to decide to call or not. Make up your mind.
Big raise here. $50 raise. Open raise. Or actually, one limper. King, queen suited.
Take it down.
Watch
So you're
those
gonna
raise sizes.
Read this email here.
Yeah.
Which,
This was an email from Jason. I don't think it was the same Jason. It might have been the same Jason that we
the
did
subject
the
matter.
blog. Subject, trouble in paradise.
Question mark.
Hey, Bart and Dave, I noticed that you two have been having more and more heated disagreements lately. In fact, I had felt it was just me being too critical. However, my buddy mentioned it to me as well. I'm an archive subscriber, and in reviewing the last 10 days of games or so, there were 6 very heated disagreements. I can understand disagreeing with each other. Poker is a game of many viewpoints. However, I think you two might need a break from each other. You're really jumping on each other at times, and one of you likes to continue the disagreement for far longer than needed.
Even lovers need a holiday.
Almost like a kid who needs to get the last word in. I'm writing this as constructive observations. I enjoy the
Far
show.
away
I've been watching
from
nearly
the one
from
that
every day
you
one,
love.
and I've seen how well things have developed. But the recent tension between you two is quite obvious. You may want to visit this in one of your production meetings.
Yeah.
Wow. Michael's got bottom 2 pair. And we just laugh because Dave and I got to tell you, when I first met you, I thought you were kind of an ass.
Most people do.
Yeah. But then you later explained that because you didn't really want to get close to anyone props because they're just coming in and out like a revolving door, right?
Well, you look. I mean, like Ryan, he was here for 2 weeks.
Right.
What, I'm gonna become best buddies with him when he quits?
But
So it was
the
kind of
more
like
and more I got to know you, the more and more I liked you more. And any type of disagreement is usually just playful. We're never really in a heated disagreement, and it's not affecting the show.
As much as like I call Ryan annoying,
Right.
I'm an asshole. I really am. There's no bones about it. I'm an
Yeah.
asshole. And most people will you'll either love me or you hate me.
Right.
There's really no middle ground with me, and I don't mind that. But yes, our heated disagreements are anything but heated.
Right. 3-way action here. 2 flush draws here, Dave. And
Wow,
Joseph's got
I
an
like
open-
Joseph's better.
He's got an open-ended straight flush draw. Now, BB's got the higher flush draw with overcards, and BB's going to bet.
Now, if Joseph really pushes on this one, he can probably take it down without even hitting his hand.
Now, was Dr. BB, who was the pre-flop raiser here? Couldn't quite tell. It was seat 3, was it? It was Joseph with 8-6. So BB called in the blind, and he led right out here on the flop.
Yeah.
And that's about as big a flop for 8-6 of diamonds as you're going to get.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Yeah.
And he's thinking about it. And he's going to raise it up, and you know what? He's raising it up East Coast style.
And actually, Kia the raiser with 8-9. So he raises, and BB immediately calls.
Wow. Well, you know what? BB is actually ahead here.
Yeah.
It's one of the rare times you're ahead because obviously BB's got the higher flush draw. Plus, he has the 9 of diamonds.
Here we go to the turn. Turns jack.
And if Joseph fires again, I think he takes it down. I really do. Well, that's not going to do it, I don't think.
He's
Wow.
moving in here, Dave. He's going to
Oh,
move.
okay. I thought he did 100 at a time, but he actually said verbally, "I'm all in," and then pushed it in there.
Yeah.
And he takes it down. Nice bet. And the river was a 5. Wouldn't have changed anything, and BB would have won it with queen high.
high.
Nice bet.
You know, it's interesting. You said that he verbalized all in. I don't know if he did or not, but a lot of people ask us about string bets and such. If he had made that bet like that, a $200 bet, and hadn't said anything, it is pretty much legal.
No, that's not. That actually not.
Oh, because he came back with it, you mean?
Yeah, if you announce raise,
Uh-huh.
you
That's
can
what-
go
that's
back
what
as many
I meant.
times. But since he's the initial
Initial
better,
better,
he
right.
can't go
Right.
100 and then reach back in
Right,
front of the 100.
right. Excuse me, I meant race.
Right. If BB wanted to be, if
Yeah.
he didn't say I'm all in or anything like that, BB could say no, that's only a
Yeah.
$100 bet.
But a raise, you can keep coming back.
Right.
But
Exactly.
in a tournament, you can't, right?
Yeah, tournament they
Yeah.
actually make you. I always like to say if you're in a cash game, if you want to raise, take a few minutes, think about it, think about what you want to do anyway, and then try to get the chips together. You can even say it, make it 250 to go, make it 300 to go, make it 8,000 to go. I don't care.
Allen here with 9-10 suited.
The
Takes down.
problem also is sometimes, although there is a universal rule, sometimes the floor men don't know.
Yeah, that sometimes annoys me.
You know, and it's kind of annoying. Yeah, it's kind of annoying because you might get kind of a bum ruling. So I always kind of go, you know what? If I'm going to raise, I'm going to put it all in at the same time and not worry about it.
You know, it's funny. If I ever said something like that, surely that was the worst commentary you've ever done. If we were speculating on what would have happened, I probably would have got a slap across my face.
Well, anybody that knows me, and obviously we're good friends. Anybody that knows me for a while knows that I like to give a lot of shit and I can take it. And I don't have no problem with it at all. With a grain of salt.
Aaron's going to pop it up here with King Queen. And the great thing about that argument, like I said, is we did it on the video blog. We
Yeah.
spent about 10 minutes with the hand and the exact stack sizes and pot amounts.
Everything right.
So you can check that out. I think it's going to be up tomorrow morning over at liveatthebike.com, where you can check out the archives and click on the on-demand banner. $14.95 a month gets you access to every show we've ever done over almost a year and a half now.
Yeah, I mean, just for $14.95, you get access to all of June, right?
Yeah, all of June. Everything. What do you mean just all of June? Every month. All of June 2005 as well.
I thought it was $14.95 a month.
Yeah, $14.95 a month, but instant access to everything.
Wait, you get all the months?
Right, not $14.95
That is
times 15.
insanity.
Isn't
I
that
thought it was
amazing?
always $14.95 per month, but like literally per month.
Right, per month.
Wow. Jeez. So the Barry Greenstein episode from last August
Absolutely.
included.
Absolutely.
The Greg Raymer episode included.
From last January. Was it last February? Last February.
Wow. Kathy Liebert
Kathy
included.
Liebert, Doyle Brunson.
Wow. Scotty Wynn.
Scotty Wynn. Johnny Chan several times.
Unbelievable. I tell you. No wonder we are losing money.
Look at this.
Jeez.
Joseph has checked the nuts twice. He checked it on the flop. He checked it on the turn. BB now bets with ace-9. And, if anybody's going to get away from it for a min raise, it's BB. Well, wait a minute. He's going to call. Wow.
That's right.
I thought BB was going to immediately fold here.
No. Joseph's a little bit cagier than the average owl.
BB is drawn stone cold dead here. Worst card for BB would probably be a 9 here.
As long as a spade doesn't come out, he might pay him.
Oh, look at this. The river's an 8.
That is the worst card. 8 of spades. If you're Joseph, you got to be worried about spades, don't you? And it checks down, and that's not good.
Well, I don't know necessarily the way that hand played out. I mean, would BB check a spade draw on the flop and then on the turn check to him now bet a spade draw?
It's
a
an
little,
odd play,
little bit
right.
peculiar.
Definitely not a play, but Joseph takes it down.
Slowed everything down. Button's going to move here to seat number 9. Live at the bike, 5-5, no limit hold'em, $300 min, 500 max. You can bring your stack size up to 500 at any time, Dave, in this game. That's what I kind of like about it. As we once saw Robert Varconi do about 7 separate times when he was
Right.
on the show.
Down to 400, here's 100, here's 100, here's
Olga,
100.
keep it coming. That guy is actually one of the... I've never met him. He's a really nice guy. Super
nice guy. You know,
Yeah.
I told you, I had played with Olga at the World Series and met her and Robert then.
Yeah.
And then when I was at that other casino and they were playing, I saw them both and I was like, hey, you got to come down to Live at the Bike. And he was
Yeah.
true to his word. He came the next day.
Big flop here for seat 5. Gut shot, straight flush, wheel draw. Deuce, deuce, 5 with a couple clubs. Here, let's see if Michael's going to raise here. He's just going to call. $15 bet, and there's the nut flush here for Michael. And there's nothing Joseph really. I mean, he's betting on the 5. He's going to bet again.
Kind of a little I'm scared bet. Let's see what happens.
Now, we've seen Joseph slow play, Dave, now twice with the nut flush, first hand of the night kind of on the turn, and with that straight. Would you ever think he's betting with a deuce here? I just wouldn't buy it, right?
Probably not.
And just a call here by
Hey,
Michael.
if a 5 comes, well,
River's a king.
obviously a 5 or a deuce, and Joseph's good.
Now, I don't know if Michael...
And this is going to go
Right.
check, bet, fold, right?
I don't know if Michael, was going to call. He probably wasn't going to call raise on the turn anyways. It's just saying it is another overcard that has come on the river. For some reason, if he had bet, say, with 7-5, let's just manufacture a hand there. Now the king comes. He might get away from it now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, if you don't put your opponent on a deuce because he bet right out,
Right.
you almost don't. If you raise there, you're just going to scare him out. Although he could have smaller clubs, you never know. And if he has smaller clubs, obviously he could win a big 5. And according to, there it is, Breakaway 7, who's a longtime watcher, he always watches the replays.
Yeah.
But apparently he's able to watch the live show now. Says, hey guys, I'm the Jason that you're taking to the blog, which feels pretty cool. But I did not write the Trouble in Paradise email. Okay, well, cool.
Well, it's not like Jason's a common name, right?
No. I think we have 3 Jasons that watch the show, and that's
Dr.
it.
Beebe's flopped the wheel here. 4-5-3. Let's see if he's going to... He checks it, Dave.
Hey,
Unbelievable.
you know what?
I mean, is that not a vault?
Well, if a deuce comes or a 7 comes, he's in trouble because
Yeah.
Ruben is open-ended. It's one of the reasons, actually, out of all the ace wheel cards, ace deuce is my least favorite one.
And
Because you got to realize, if I have ace 4 and the flop comes out deuce 3, 5, I have ace 4. Yes, it's not the nuts, but it's more likely that I have the nuts than, say, ace deuce here.
BB check raises, he gets Ruben out of the hand. But you know what? If Joseph doesn't bet there with ace 9, and it gets checked around, like I said, ace deuce, that's like that's an ass end of a straight. It is an ass end of the straight.
Yeah, it's not like it. It
A
is.
ton of vulnerable cards. Obviously, a 6 or a 7 kills your hand. An ace or a deuce, you chop. And actually, a deuce kills your hand as well.
Yeah, a deuce.
I
deuce
don't
is
think I
garbage.
would play that flop really slow.
I got to tell you, one of the reasons I'm not a big fan of ace deuce is
Right.
6-7 is a hand a lot of players like to play.
Right.
Especially in no limit hold'em. And you got to realize, do I really want to take a lot of heat with a hand of ace deuce 3, 4, 5? Not really.
Button moves over here to Allen in seat 2.
Get a post here from Gaspsy. Says, hey guys, first time poster, long time watcher. Loved the show last night. Heaps of action. Just wanted to know, are we going to see any more of Boot Camp Rob? And you know what? I would imagine we will.
He had a great night.
Yeah, he won $5,000, and oftentimes if somebody wins, they
Yeah.
come back for more.
And I think he said his fiancée emailed in a couple of times.
Yeah.
Now, Ryan has raised to 20 here, and again, if you look at seat 9, Ruben actually has ace 10 here offsuit. And the reason why I was going to bring that up was, I mean, not only is Ryan on the short stack, you don't even want to be calling ace 10 against a deep stack either. Oh, there's the ace. And what a flop for Ryan. Top pair and nut clubs.
Yeah, Ruben is almost drawing
And
dead.
is Ruben going to get involved here? I mean, this is the and he's going to, and look at this, Ryan's going to bet a little bit weak.
And luckily for Ruben, he has a 10 of clubs in his hand, so he actually has the full 3 outs.
And he makes the call.
But Ryan can redraw to the nuts, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, Ryan is way out in front here. Turns a 5. Now, with these stack sizes,
Now they're
you
chopping
might-
it up.
75.
Oh, that's right. They are chopping it up. And I was going to say, that turn wasn't a 5. Now, Ryan, I'm trying to bet a weak ace
Yeah.
off. But you actually might check, because there's nothing you're
Yeah.
scared of. You might want to get a guy to bet
Ruben
with
needs a
an ace.
10, Ryan needs a club or it's jack.
6
Not gonna
comes
happen.
out.
Obviously, if a jack or a 10 come,
Yeah,
both,
that's-
either player would have bigger 2 pair than the other one.
That is a really bad beat there for Ryan. Man. Now, what I said by that was that, if you remember, you can play it a little bit tricky when you're on the short stack. You might either check there if the guy's on a club draw, let him catch up, or just get the guy to bet thinking you're checking an ace if he has an ace, and you get the money in because you don't need to protect your hand. You don't need to build the pot.
Right.
You only have 85 left.
Yeah, the only thing is, I mean, if the guy's got a flush draw, you almost want to induce the bluff because if the guy's
Yeah.
got a flush draw, he's going to call you anyway. You only got 85 left.
Kev Maplin 2+2 says Johnny Chan several times. I must have missed that. Shows Evan, how many times has Johnny Chan been here in the booth? At least twice, right? Little short, no, I know short interviews, but 2 or 3 times, right? Just twice? Twice. Okay. Several. Yeah.
So nitpicky.
Those
these
guys from
are.
upstate New York, man. Where are you from?
What? I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention to you. Did you say something?
Do you consider yourself more of an upstate New Yorker or a Long Island guy?
I consider myself more of an Icelandic guy.
Icelandic?
Yeah, I really do. I don't know why, but I feel like I have origins from Iceland. I want to be from Iceland.
You're a big fan of Bjork?
I am. I big fan of everything Icelandic. Didn't you mention to me you almost went to Iceland?
I did.
On a little trip?
Yeah. 3-way action here.
I'm dying to go.
King, queen, 10 here.
Now look at this. Key's got a gut shot straight draw, but it's completely worthless.
Yeah. Jack comes, the ace is higher. Look, he is going to bet, and that's going to do it.
Well, he's betting his position, not his cards.
Yeah, they used to do, well, back when I was living in the Boston area, they used to do like these weekend getaways from Boston on Icelandic Air, like a long weekend. The flight is only like 2.5 or 3 hours. And apparently, if you go there, like they have like these natural hot springs, like in the cold, you dive in, you know, you just hop into it. It's like a natural jacuzzi.
I love those. I love natural hot springs. Big fan of that.
Butt moves over here to seat 4.
I like this. Jeff out of Oswego, Illinois, sends an email. It's a whole rule. Don't forget the asshole credo. We are equal opportunity assholes. We hate everybody. And the asshole motto. There are no stupid questions, only stupid people who ask questions. Great show. Keep up the great work. Thanks for the email, Jeff.
Now, Alan is raised here with queen 10 of spades, and Michael has called with ace 8 suited out of position. He's got the spades dominated here.
And obviously, Alan's going to make the continuation back when Michael checks to him.
A little surprised there. I mean, I saw Michael fold ace 8 when he was in position, I think, the second hand of the night to Alan's raise, but now he calls out of position in the blind with ace 8.
Some people they go, well, I'm already in there for a couple bucks.
Right.
You know, I got to call. If you think of, I think if you want to fix a leak in your game, part of the way you can do it when you're in the blinds, because I think a lot of people have leaks when they're in blind play. If you almost consider the money gone already, it's already in the pot.
Right.
So don't even consider it like, well, I'm already halfway there. No, you're not. You have to call whatever the bet is. That money's in the pot. It's not your money anymore.
Yeah.
It is gone. Now, would you call this much money out of position with this hand? If the answer is yes, then go ahead. If it's not, then throw it away. Forget about the fact that you're in the blind.
Aaron is going to limp in here with an ace 8, or he's going to raise with an ace 8 offsuit, and he is going to take it down. Now, we were at such a kind of a passive game this afternoon, Dave. You and I playing the same game for about 2 or 3 hours. But I actually was limping in with a lot of speculative hands from up front. I was limping in with ace rag suited because over 60-70% of the time there was no raise.
The game was
I mean, I know you were limping in. Didn't you limp in with like a 2-gap suited connector from up front?
mostly late position, but
yeah,
almost every single time I was in late position. There were a couple times I was on the button and I just raised. There were a couple times actually when it was seat 3 was in the big blind.
Yeah.
He was such a passive, predictable player, almost like he makes Dr. Beebe look like an action player. I was literally raising his big blind, not even looking.
Yeah.
It's like free money.
Got a raise here by Allen with 7-8 of clubs, and again a call.
So having said all that, how did we do in the game?
Yeah, we both lost. A call here by a suited ace. Well, Allen's flopped the best hand here with a pair of eights. 10-10-8 here on the flop.
And you imagine Allen's going to bet it. Yeah, why not?
Bets 40. And Aaron here is going to call. He's going to float one off with backdoor. No, he's going to raise.
Wow.
He's going to raise.
Yeah. Learn that move straight from Andy Block.
And again, you wonder, would Aaron really raise with a 10 here right away? Now,
who knows? I don't know Aaron's play, but he shows the bluff.
Yeah. Turns a 7, rivers a 10.
Obviously, yeah. Allen makes 2 pair on the turn, but 2 pair is garbage.
Now again,
he already had 2 pair.
Right, but when the river comes 10, he basically has a full house.
Full house, right?
I was gonna get into was in this game you rarely see somebody smooth call with an overpair. They usually your hand is almost defined pre-flop a lot more in this game than in bigger games.
Yeah. Well, people are playing it more like a tournament in the sense that I've got a big pair, I've got to move in. People are also a little bit less experienced in this game than the bigger game, and oftentimes they're scared to play post-flop.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to. Let me just put all my money in so there's no decisions.
Whalecock, one of my favorite posters on 2+2. Limped around here. 4-way action. King 8-5 here with a couple of diamonds.
I'm not sure what Whalecock is talking about.
Turns of 4, got checked around on the flop. Is Ryan going to come out and take a shot out of here with the 8? He's got the best.
Well, how about Alan? Alan's got a open-ended straight draw right now.
Oh, he's got the bottom end of an open-ended straight draw, and he's calling with 2 diamonds out there, Dave.
Now, if a 6 were to come, anybody that has 7 would have straight.
Yeah, that's why his hand's so garbage here. I don't.
And there's the 6.
There's the 6, but I mean, obviously when Ryan checks, I think that Alan can now bet.
There's no reason to think your opponent
Yeah.
has a 7, is there?
But I mean, if there were multi-way action, he can't play this hand hard.
No, definitely not. And Ryan throws it away quickly. You know what? He's going to make me eat my words tonight. Good for you, Ryan. Let's lay down.
So Whalecock on 2+2 says, how many more minutes until Dave makes another cultural stereotype? Most likely the guy with in the beret in seat 1, the poor French bastard.
I already told you, he's East Coast. Those berets, they're really cool back in the East Coast.
Are they really?
Yeah. They're in. It's a driving cap, according to Isaac. An Irish driver's cap, apparently. That's good. Yeah, all the Irishmen wear it. According to Ray, he's Mexican now. So he's half Mexican, half Irish, and he's a driver. Clearly, and he's from the East Coast. Joseph.
Yeah, Joaquin Fitzpatrick is his name.
Yeah, nothing personal, Joseph. Just having fun.
Raised here by Ryan with King Jack offsuit. Now, Allen is called here with Jack 10, and remember, Ryan is not deep here. 9-7-7 here. Now, can Allen just bet here? He's got overcards and a gut shot, and it goes check, check. Turns a queen. Allen's now open-ended. Check, check again, and the river's a 6. And now Allen needs to bet. He bets 60 now. And by Ryan playing it a little bit passively, or very passively, allows Allen to take the pot from him.
So I got to tell you, I was watching England play, and I'll be honest, as disappointed as I was versus Paraguay, I was even more disappointed today. The first half and the first 20 minutes of the second half, I'm sitting there going, "Oh man!" I mean, I know England's going to get through the first group because their group is so weak, but I was like, they're going to get to the round of 16 and be 1-0. They're done. There's no way they're going to win. But then Wayne Rooney came on in the 58th minute, and you kind of saw the whole team electrify.
Oh.
And then at about the 65th minute, and you have to admit this too, about the 65th minute, you saw Trinidad kind of starting to back off, and you saw England suddenly scoring opportunity after scoring opportunity after scoring opportunity, and then not only did we score 1, we scored 2. And I got to tell you, if you were to take some stuff from the England game, some really exciting good stuff here, and I'm going to get to that in a minute right after this hand.
Joseph raised here with 8-9 of clubs. He made it 30 to go, and he get called in multiple spots. Ace, deuce, deuce here. Well, Allen's got the best hand with 6s. And if Joseph leads forward, he's probably going to win it here.
And he's going to lead forward.
He's going to bet kind of weak, but I can't imagine Allen can call here with 2 people
That's the
behind
problem.
him.
If Allen is in last position, if he's in Ryan's spot, he probably can call.
Now, does Aaron sense some weakness here?
Now, Ryan calling a raise with King 9 of diamonds, that's not the kind of hand I want to call raise with ever.
Well, yeah, and look how short he is. He only has about, like, $80 left.
So anyway, back to England. At halftime of today's game, things look so grim. You look at this team, we can't score goals. Our front line looks terrible. Michael Owen is past his prime. He stinks. We can't beat anybody.
Yeah, he's almost been really invisible the first
Right.
couple games.
Now we take from the game. Suddenly we score 2 late goals. Our big star, Steven Gerrard, scores. Beckham makes a great cross pass to Crouch, and he scores. We score 2 goals, and then to boot, one of our best players who was injured makes a triumphant return and actually played 30 minutes. He's just going to build himself up. By the time we get into the second round, we are going to be on fire. I'm telling you.
What world are you living in? Wow, look at this. Ace, king, kings, and aces in the hand.
Oh, wow.
A raise here by Roy. Allen's going to re-raise, and that might save Kia here. You're going
You
to raise
can't
it.
script this stuff.
And Allen re-raises. Doesn't Ace-King suited go in the muck here? A raise and a re-raise by Allen?
It's tough in this game sometimes. But look, that's a nice laydown by Kia. That really is. In this game, that is a strong, strong laydown. And Roy's in trouble.
And Roy is just going to call.
Wow, well, unfortunately for Roy, there's
Well, he
only one
has like
king
40,
left.
and he only has $40.
But unfortunately for Roy, there's only one ace left, and the odds of an ace coming out are very slim. It'll probably come out small cards. There it is.
Well, even if an ace comes out, he's not going to get away from it. He's got like $80 left.
Well, you never know.
Allen's going to put him in, and I'm sure Roy is going to call.
Are they trading sushi?
And this pot is going to be over $500 here. Aces against kings.
And there's only one king left.
And look at Kia. He had ace, king, of diamonds. Unbelievable. Could be a running straight for a chop. Turns a 3. A 4 would chop it up. No, excuse me. No, it wouldn't. River is a 9 here. And aces are going to take it down. And we talk about last night, Dave. One of the best shows we've ever done. And I was thinking about it in my dreams. I actually had a small dream about this.
That's so sad.
Avo, with that Jack 4, absolutely amazing that Dr. Allen lets him off the hook by overplaying the Queen 10. If anybody, didn't catch the show, you can watch it on the archives. Mike had a set of 5s. Avo had 2 pair on the flop. It went checked around the flop. Dr. Allen made just top pair, Queen 10. On the turn, Mike bet, Dr. Allen raised, Avo called. Mike re-raised, Dr. Allen re-raised. And Mike moved in and Dr. Allen called with Queen 10, drawing dead. And the river was a 4, and it would have made Avo a full house. But Mike would have had a higher full house with 5s full. Yeah. Unbelievable hand.
It really was. I mean,
Seat 9 is going to raise it up here with ace.
ace jack, and he takes it down.
Got ace.
Ace queen? Okay. Well, that would be on par. I have a lot of respect for Dr. Allen's game, and I know you do as well. We both think he's a good player. But I'm not sure what Dr. Allen was doing last night. He put himself in these situations last night where he basically lost all his money on 2 hands. One was where he overplayed ace-king out of position.
Against Adam. Yeah.
Exactly, trying to bluff out somebody that you
I
shouldn't
don't have
be
a big
bluffing out.
problem with the way he played that hand, though, Dave. I really don't.
Against Adam, that's the problem. You're not looking the value. You're looking the value bet against Adam. You're looking to hit your ace and then bet and bet and bet. The problem was he put himself in a situation where he raises with ace king and then he ends up losing $4,000 on a hand that he shouldn't even been in there with. I mean, well, he definitely shouldn't lose that much money with it, put it that way. And then obviously the queen 10 hand speaks for itself.
Dr. Beebe here has raised it up with king queen. A smooth call here. Excuse me, limp. Ryan has raised all in here with 7s. Smooth call by seat 1 with pocket 10s.
I was joking.
And Michael is looking to call here. He's trying to figure out if he can call with ace 10 off suit.
I don't want to confuse the action.
Michael folds.
I did that once.
And Beebe's going to call.
The action, so.
He's going to call with king queen off suit. The new Dr. Beebe really loosening up in this game.
The funny thing is, in a game like this where the implied odds aren't there, you probably shouldn't be making speculative
No.
calls, should you?
It's more straightforward. Well, there's the queen. Beebe's outflopped everyone.
How does he know if he's good?
And their heads up on the side here, Dave. And I think Beebe needs to protect his hand out here. He's going to come out and bet.
Yeah, he's got the queen of spades as well, so it's a pretty good flop.
Yeah, he's
for
going to
him.
move in. Moves all in immediately. And if you're Joseph, remember, you're not... I mean, you don't have top pair. You're not just playing against Dr. Beebe. The main pot here also has Ryan in it.
Well, there's no reason for Beebe to make this move.
Make a dry move on a dry side pot,
Yeah,
right?
really not. I mean, theoretically, I guess Beebe could. If the pot was real big, Beebe could do this with, say, even deuces if he thinks Ryan's got ace jack or ace king.
Right.
It's a pretty advanced play. I don't think Beebe's going there.
So Ryan needs to spike a 7 here or some sort of running straight. Turns a jack. He needs a 7 and a 7 only.
Come on.
And there's the king.
And I think Ryan's going to rebuy here.
Brutality.
Coming in for 300, Dave.
Once again, we're live at the bike.
Nice shirt there by Dr. Beebe, huh? Spiffy. Snazzy.
He's a well-dressed guy.
Button moves over here to seat 4 to Aaron.
According to our live at the bike potato, Jay Siegel, goes by Pojato on the 2+2 board. It says 7:10 p.m. Dave makes his nightly remark that offends someone in the core audience. Am I really that offensive? I am. Okay, thank you, Ray. I appreciate it. I wasn't sure. I never thought I was. I mean, I always thought people would take it as a joke. Don't people know I'm joking? I guess not. Oh, Francois, now he's an ass. He really is. He's just an ass. I'm sorry. No. He makes me look like a nice guy. He really does.
Seat 1 raises here with Jack 8 of diamonds. Allen's going to call 7-4 of hearts. Again, I don't know if Joseph is deep enough for Allen to make this call with such a speculative hand. Queen 10 deuce here, all spades. And this flop has just missed everybody here. Nobody has really a spade except for Ryan with ace 3. And Ryan limps in and calls a raise out of position with ace 3 offsuit, Dave. Gets checked around the turns a queen. And Ryan's got the best hand with ace high here, right?
How does he know that, though? Although at this point, I'm taking a shot at it, and I like Joseph here. Joseph's going to go, you know what? Nobody else wants this pot. I'm going to try it.
Well, he's got a straight draw. He wants the pre-flop razor. And you almost don't buy it, though.
No, you don't, but you put him on maybe pocket sevens, though.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, he's not. He clearly doesn't have a queen. He clearly doesn't have spades. But couldn't he have pocket nines, pocket sevens, pocket eights, anything like that, which is good. And it's a nice bet. He goes, you know what? Nobody wants this pot. I'll take it. Nice to see Barry Woods actually having a nice showing last night.
Played good, solid poker last
He
night.
did. He really did.
I mean, I love to ride Barry, but he played a good game.
No, he did. Obviously, Barry Woods being friends of. I really consider him a friend. I do like Barry, and it was nice to see him book a nice win, but not just getting lucky and booking a nice win. He really played well last night. It was nice to see the aggressive Barry back. Now, obviously, he laid down a couple of winning hands, but good players lay down the best hand all the time.
$35 raise here by seat 1.
Now, we got a couple interesting hands here. We got pocket sixes, we got queen jack, and we got ace king. Ace king in seat 1, he raises it up. And queen jack is going to call, and I bet the sixes are going to call here too. And we'll see this 3 ways. And I got to tell you, queen jack, I'm probably not calling a raise heads up.
I'm having a little trouble. I'm trying to figure out how much chip seat 1 has in front of him.
Look at that. Full house. I'm sorry, full house. Set of sixes for Ruben. Flop coming out 10-8-6.
Well, seat 1 is deep. He's got about 700 in front of him.
Now, if you're Michael, can you take one off? You've got a gut shot to the straight draw, plus you got overcards.
Well, Ruben checked, and if Michael calls in between, I am sure that Ruben's probably going to throw a nice little raise and check raise.
Right. Now, Michael's got to look at it and go, well, is this guy betting with ace-king? Am I good if a jack comes out? Or is this guy betting maybe a pocket pair, pocket nines, pocket sevens, pocket fives? Who knows?
Now, the only problem here, though, too, is that if you were to raise on the come with a draw here, you've got to realize that Ruben is in there, and he has a big hand that he's sandbagging here.
Yeah.
Always got to keep that in your
And he's
head.
going to call this. He's going to take one off, but I don't know if he's going to get to see the turn card because Ruben's going to raise.
Yep.
Ruben's putting his chips out there.
100 to go, and I assume both players are probably going to fold. I mean, Michael really has, he's got 4 outs here. Now, again, you talk about deep stack poker. Well, could I represent a 7 as well? But if the guy's got a set, he's not going anywhere, I don't think.
The problem is when you start thinking of what can I represent, you have to know who you're trying to represent against. We saw last night, if anybody watches the archives, and you should watch last night's game, you see a lot of times players trying to bluff Rob, players trying to bluff Adam, trying to represent things. Those aren't the guys I'm going to try to represent against. I'm not going to do it against Allen either.
Those are guys value bet.
Exactly. If I hit a hand, I'm going to bet it for value against those guys.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm playing against you, though, or if I'm playing against a guy like, Dr. Beebe, if I'm playing against, there's a whole bunch of players. Even a Mo, who obviously is very smart, can pick up on, he'll see things. There, I might try to represent something.
Let's take a look at the first chip count of the night. Here we got 4,500 on the table. Joseph is leading the table here in seat 1. Let's take a look at the differences. This game's been going on for about a half an hour before we came on. Joseph is the big winner so far with 450. And Ryan, the big loser so far, minus 300. And again, as this game moves along, it gets bigger and bigger. Not uncommon to see everybody at the table with $1,000 in front of them. Seat number 5 is going to raise it up here, Mike, with ace-jack. Joseph's got 6-7 of diamonds. Is he going to take this heads up out of position in the blind? He is not. Don't mind the lay down there.
No, not at all.
Again, Michael is not that deep.
No, you're out of position, too.
Yeah.
Apparently, Jay Siegel, he has been tearing up the tournament scene.
Really?
Now, we had him in here. You were out of the booth for whatever reason, and I had Jay in here for a few minutes where he won the, I want to say he won the best all-around. Which tournament was that, Ronnie? The All-American. He won the points playoff. He won first place, showed off a really nice trophy. And then a couple of days ago, I think yesterday, he chops up a tournament with our own Ronnie McMillan. He's been getting final tables left and right.
Yeah.
The potato.
I say I'm sure he's changed his style because he's played it very tight, straightforward to cash games.
No, yeah, the potato obviously kicking up his spurs.
Heads up here. Looks like between the blinds, they're not going to chop it.
Anybody get that?
3-4. Is that a broke back thing?
You wouldn't understand it.
Joseph's going to bet out here with the 4. He's going to take it down. Again, you can email us at live@thebike.com.
Did you get a chance to read the interview Baron Vangertuch did on Barry Woods?
I did indeed.
Yeah.
I did indeed. Did you?
I did.
Yeah. Very, very nice.
It was really well done.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very interesting.
Button moves over here to C9. Again, for Barry, he played well, really well last night. The only thing I got to say, the only thing I didn't like, I remember one specific hand when he calls out of the blind with Jack 6 offsuit. I think Barry, he's not a professional poker player. He is here to have fun, but it's an ego thing with him against Mike. He just wants to beat Mike. And we know if a Jack had come, he really might have got wrapped up and lost a lot of money in that hand. Luckily for him, he missed the flop.
How about 2-pair? BB did not miss this flop. Is he going to slow play it?
Well, Michael was the pre-flop raiser, so Michael's going to continuation bet.
And is BB going to raise or going to just call this? I got to tell you, I'm probably raising right now because I think Michael's probably got an ace-king or ace-queen. Or at least I'm going to hope he does.
And he's going to raise.
And I like the raise. I really do. If your opponent has ace-king or ace-queen, we've seen Michael has trouble getting away from big hands. You wonder if Michael comes right back over the top. Now, if a queen comes off, obviously Michael will have the Broadway. He'll have the nuts. And you wonder if BB is scared then of ace-queen.
Right. I'm just saying going out of the super satellite is not necessarily.
And Michael calls. Turns a 4.
I understand.
Michael checks here, and BB's going to continue to lead forward. I think Michael's going to be down with it. Great email here from Alex Lee. Get to it in a second.
I wouldn't say it's great. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, you are overvaluing what Rooney.
I am actually because Lennon played great too.
Lennon was really the big difference. Like this guy at our table that said the same thing too.
Yeah, Lennon was fabulous when he came in.
Yeah.
Substitute at the same time that he came in at the same exact time Rooney came in.
And I agree with you. That offsides call was a dubious call at the end against Stern John.
First of all, it was already 2-0 when it was offsides. Second of all, it was clearly offsides. What are you talking
I don't know
about?
if it was clearly offsides. It was pretty
They
close.
showed it 3 times. They were like, here, look, this is where the ball is. This is where the defender is. This is where the offensive player was. Besides, it's 2-0 at that point anyway.
No,
England,
the goal
game was
doesn't make a
over.
difference.
The game meant, that goal meant nothing.
Again, England had a lot of opportunities. It was just a great game because Trinidad could have easily been up 1-0.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Not even a question. I found the last 20 minutes of the game very promising. I really thought England really started showing their true colors the last 20 minutes of the game.
$40 raise here by Ryan. Pocket 10s. Joseph is going to make a speculative call here with King 9 of diamonds again. He is calling Ryan's raise. Ryan is really on the short stack here. Cannot make that call with King 9 of diamonds.
Yeah, in a game like this, you're not going to be calling too many speculative hands.
And Aaron's in there with ace 9 of spades out of position.
And there's the king. Now, Joseph, the only problem with the hand of King 9, how does he know he's good? Is that the flop you're really looking for? And Ryan's going to make a continuation bet.
Well, he bets he's going to bet 60.
Yeah, pot's only about 75.
I thought it was a $40 raise. Pot was 120. He bet
Oh,
half
was it? Okay, wow.
half the size of the pot. And Joseph calls here. Now, again, in this game here, he's good. If you're deeper, he just has absolutely no idea where he is.
Well, even if you're deeper, though, you can probably call one time. Is Ryan the type of player that will fire twice with pair 10s here? I don't think he will.
Turns a 6.
And the problem with that board is obviously you could be ahead with tens, and your opponent could be calling you at, say, ace jack of hearts, and you're giving him free cards.
Now here again, to play it cagey, I got to tell you, the pot is built up enough. If Ryan checks here, I actually might know my king nine is good, and I might check behind and then hope that a heart doesn't come out and make it look like I'm going to bluff at the river. Is that ever any way you could play it?
Definitely a way to play it. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, there's probably two ways to play it. You can bet the turn just to make sure that your opponent doesn't have hearts.
Well, Ryan's going to come out and bet again.
And I'm going to say, if Ryan calls, you can take the free showdown.
See, now Ryan has bet 100. He has pretty much pot committed himself. He's not going anywhere. You can see at Joseph's face, you can't be comfortable with king nine here. The guy
No,
has fired
you
two
really
bullets.
can't. Can't at all.
And in this case, he's good, but this is the inherent problem. The mistake is calling pre-flop. I mean, obviously, Joseph can beat tens, jacks, queens. I wouldn't think that, if I didn't see the cards here, I would think that Ryan had king nine beat here. I'm surprised. Usually Ryan isn't as aggressive as firing two bullets here.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why oftentimes I'll call like Dennis, doctor.
Yeah.
I'll call him one time almost with nothing because I know he'll check to me if he doesn't have anything or if he doesn't like the flop. And Ryan the same way, but in this case Ryan actually fired two bullets. And he might actually think he has the best hand.
Hey, you might think the guy has hearts or something.
Definitely. Well, if he has hearts, you can probably call, can't you?
Look
And
at
he's
this.
gonna call.
Joseph is going to call. And now, if the heart doesn't come, is there any value for Ryan to bet here at the end? I
No.
think you might just check.
Yeah.
If the heart doesn't come, you might just check, and hopefully Joseph will check behind you. You save some money.
Now,
The river
this
a
is the
jack.
question to you. Now, if Ryan checks it, do you bet with king nine?
Well, I don't know. Now, the issue, though, too, is Ryan could be checking to induce a bluff.
He also
He's
could be
gonna-
checking king queen.
Yeah, exactly. He's also going to call you with any hand that he has that you beat, though, as well. So it is an interesting
But
situation.
would Ryan call with tens? Can you get a hand worse than yours to
Well,
call
now
you?
there's another overcard to tens out here, so it's...
Although at this point the pot's like $400. Maybe he only has like 45 left.
Ryan checks, yeah, and Joseph's going to check behind him, and Joseph doesn't think his hand's good, but it is good. And that is good. And you wonder, like I said, if the river paired the board, say, like 4, if another overcard didn't come to the tens, now he checks the river, and then you think, well, he only has $100 left. He is going to have to call me with a hand like nines, tens, jacks, or queens, because I might have made it look like I had busted hearts. So I think I might bet there.
Yeah.
Now, I might get called by a hand that also beats me. But you look at it and you're like, is it worth it? Are there more hands that he calls with that I beat? Or more hands that he checks that I bet with and he calls that I'm beaten by?
I mean, Ryan might actually check king queen there thinking, well, I can't
Right.
beat ace king. Now I can't beat king jack either.
Right.
Interesting hand. And obviously that's one of the problems. A lot of times you'll see somebody calling with king nine like that going, but I'm not just looking for the king. But then you catch the king and you find yourself involved. And before you know it, now you put $200 in the pot and you don't even want to be in there.
Wow, long post here by the Bone Doc, Dr. Allen, on 2+2. And you want to check that out, then go to 2plus2.com. Want to sum that up for us when you get a chance?
I will in a second. I actually want to read this guy's email here first from Alex Lee. It says, Tuckman, you are on crack. The England team is sad. It took 86 minutes for England to crack Trinidad. Crouch was pathetic. There was no thrust, no impetus. Rooney was a great introduction, but his influence was minimal. And what else here? He said, basically, England's a bunch of wankers. This is bad since I live in England, and I want them to do well. They flatter to deceive. Okay.
Straddled pot here.
I guess I'm in denial then.
Now, Joseph does not raise here in somewhat late position with ace-king in the straddled pot. We're going to see this pot 5 ways. 10-8-6 here. Well, Ryan's open-ended here with jack-9. See if Ryan leads out here. And he does. I like the bet, Dave. If somebody calls him here with something like 8-7, 6-7, 10-7, like Kia has 7-8 here. If Kia makes this call and a 9 comes out, Oh, excuse me. Actually, Ryan would need a 7, so I don't know if Kia's going to get that much involved because it would be 2 pair. He's going to call. He needs a 9. But he has the best hand right now with middle pair. The issue is, can Ryan continue to fire? And I think Ryan is all in here. He's made the all-in semi-bluff. He is all in against Kia. He's got overcard. The 9 is no good. You can see it's about 2-1 here, favorite for Kia with the 7-8. Here we go to the turn. Turn's a 4. And the river is a 10, and Kia's going to win it here with a pair of 8s. Ryan missed.
Yeah, 10s and 8s with a 7 kicker. Real interesting email here from Dr. Allen, Bone Doc on 2+2, and I'm going to summarize it as best I can. And obviously, I say this with the utmost respect because Bart and I both have a lot of respect for Dr. Allen as a person and a player. Really nice guy. Basically, he starts out, he says, too bad I was on the bottom end of one of the best shows ever, quote unquote. That's okay. I'm glad I gave you material to talk about. And he said he was talking to Adam about the hand, obviously, where he had ace-king, and Adam had ace-10, and the flop came out 10 high. And Dr. Allen actually bet big on the flop and then moved it on the turn, and Allen made a real tough call. And obviously, I'm probably not going to call that, and that was part of the thing. And then he was talking about, obviously, where he was tilting a little bit against Mike and blew off his chips with Queen 10. And I'm going to get to the end of this in 1 second. We got a raise here by Ruben. He's got kings. I don't think BB's going to call heads up. Is he out of position? Can't imagine that. Is he out of position? That's not a hand I want to call with. Now, if I'm in position against a predictable player, I don't mind calling with king-jack suited. But out of position, and he's not going to call. Ruben takes it down. Anyway, one of the things he said here, and it's really interesting because it partly affects my own game too. He said here, read this exactly. He said that he's not going to be able to play until about August. And I'm not sure if that affected the way he played or the fact that he was trying to make back his money or play more hands, get involved in pots or so forth and so on. But I know sometimes that affects me. I was talking to Bart about, obviously there are times where Bart and I have to get up from the games, obviously, and come in here and do our job. And sometimes our sessions are a little shorter than we'd probably like. You get a raise here at a seat 1. He's got ace-jack offsuit. That's Joseph. And obviously that can't affect you. Michael's going to call with pocket 3s. And you wonder, is Ruben going to call here? Well, wow. Ryan is going to call with ace-deuce offsuit. Wow, out of position, ace-deuce offsuit, and he is not very deep. That is not a hand I'm going to call with. Now, Ruben's going to throw his money in with a suited ace. We're going to see this 3 ways. Queen, 7, 6, couple of spades. Everybody's missed. Michael still has the best hand, and it checks around. Turn is a jack, 3rd spade. Now, Ryan has the ace of spades. Is he going to fire? Wow, no, it checks around again. Actually, no, it goes over to Joseph. Is he going to take a shot at it here? He wants to see if he has a spade in his hand. He does have a jack, though. And he's going to bet his jack, looks like. And he bets $75 into what is about a $120 pot. And I don't think anybody... Well, Ryan might call this with the ace of spades, but I got to tell you, if you're going to call with the ace of spades, I'd rather be betting with the ace of spades. But Ryan is going to make a move on this guy. He is going to move all in. And I'm not sure if the fold equity is there or not. At this point, the pot might be too big. How much more is it? It's 85 more. So after you call the 75, you're talking about a 270... You're talking about a $350 pot, 85 to call with ace-jack.
Now, obviously, Joseph does not have a spade in his hand.
He does not. He can't even beat the queen. But you got to start thinking about hands. Would Ryan check a big hand twice? Very odd play, obviously. And it might work only because Joseph's hand's pretty weak. It's only 85 more to call.
I mean, would Ryan... could you say maybe 1 out of 3 or 4 times Ryan might just play the ace of spades just like that? The river's a spade. Ryan would have gotten there.
Yeah, and Joseph throws it away. Anyway, so I'm going to continue what I was saying with Dr. Allen. I was saying, obviously, if the fact that he's not going to play until August affected the way he played, obviously that's a problem. I know once in a while you and I were talking about it, where sometimes knowing we're only going to get to play for 2 or 3 hours sometimes forces us to play a little bit, I want to say faster than we probably should. Maybe not as patient because we want to almost force something to happen. And obviously, if you start forcing things to happen, that's not the way to play winning poker. You really got to play one hand at a time, not thinking about, what you're doing later, how much time you have, when the next time you might be playing it.
Right.
So, do appreciate the post there from Dr. Allen.
Button moves over here to BB. Lived around here 5 ways. 9-8-5 here on the flop. 10-9 here for Michael. He's got the best hand with top pair. Now Joseph's going to come out and bet here with ace-5. And again, sometimes the inherent, you like the aggression. On a board like this, though, when you come out and bet with second pair overcard kicker, you get called in 2 or 3 spots. The bet doesn't mean that much. The calls don't really give you a whole bunch of information, does it?
Yeah, that's the problem.
Now, Michael here is going to make a min-raise. I actually like this play. Again, with this type of board, calling that flop with a couple people behind you, you have no information about your hand. Is that a min-raise or fold hand with 9-10 there?
It's a nice spot, obviously. I mean, it definitely defines your hand when you raise it there. Plus, obviously, there's fold equity as Joseph throws it away. Sometimes, I mean, obviously, Michael's pretty short there. He's pretty much, if I hit top pair, I might have to commit myself anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Jordan underwear.
And I will give Dr. Allen credit. He does lose well. There aren't many people out there that know how to lose.
The man sells underwear, so
It's funny. I had a really long conversation with Joe Wynn, and this is the professional poker player, Joe Wynn. And he said, everybody knows how to win. Everybody knows how to win poker. He goes, but not that many people know how to lose. And the key to becoming a real winner, actually, is knowing how to lose.
Three-way action here. We had a raise by seat 3, and Adam is in there with 8 deuce of clubs. He called the raise on the button. Joseph's
Adam?
got ace-queen.
Ryan.
Ryan. I was looking at that post by it would be a hand that probably Adam would play for a raise.
Definitely.
8 deuce of clubs.
He might even make a move here with it.
Joseph is going to lead here with ace-queen. Now, Kia called with 7s. This guy's making the continuation bet. He hit top pair. Sometimes, again, one of the most difficult decisions here in No Limit Hold'em. When you hold a hand like this, if it came out 10-6-3, Jack 6-3, Queen 6-3, and you've got 7s. Looking at one overcard, he just gets away from it.
It is one of the scary cards. I mean, oftentimes, obviously, if a jack, a queen, a king, or an ace, it's kind of in the playing field. If it were to come out 9-6-3, obviously 7s are a lot stronger.
Does it hear why he's not playing until mid-August?
He did not, no.
No.
He said, good luck at the World Series of Poker, and I hope to see you guys in a few months. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Dr. Allen. And good luck with whatever you're doing. I tell you, it's a feel-good kind of night. Should all hold hands and sing Kumbaya.
Look at the post by Barry Woods. Kind of like out of characteristic. I mean, if he was talking about Kirk, he would call him like an ass pirate, a butt spelunker. But instead, talking about Dr. Allen, says he's one of the nicest men he's ever played with.
No, it is.
King, Queen, 6 here with a couple of hearts.
Not knowing what the 8 is awesome.
I mean, that might sound infantile, but that is actually what Kirk and Barry are saying to each other. Kirk says, nice hand, ass pirate. Thanks, ass clown.
I quit my job because I could.
I don't find that surprising at all.
And then Barry comes back, he's like, okay, sphincter monkey. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, are we serious?
Seven of spades in the turn changes nothing. Both players still top pair. And this is going to get chopped up. Unless Ruben can't continue. And can you continue? Well,
Ryan bets.
Yeah, well, I'm going to use this.
and I got to tell you, if you have King 10 here, how do you like your hand?
I haven't gotten there yet. Work my ass off.
Yeah, I mean, Ruben continues to call. Rivers is 7 now.
I actually like that card.
If you have King 10.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking maybe my opponent has King Jack.
Ryan bets
Specifically King
125.
Jack.
Quick call. They're going to chop this one up.
Say a year.
Rectum Raider.
We should put those in the live like terminology section. By the way, if there's anything in barter I say that you do not understand, you can go to liveatthebike.com, the website. Left-hand side, there's poker terminology. And a bunch of things that we say hard to find there.
And again, we hope to update that Running the River multiple times over in the as seen on Live at the Bike
Right.
part.
So World Series of Poker is, what, 10 days away?
First event.
11 days away?
Now, are
Sorry.
you planning on playing in the casino only? Casino employees?
Yeah, I'm actually going to play, I believe, in the first 2 events.
As you look at the Legends of Poker
Right, I'm
schedule.
looking at this Legends. Why is this here?
Yeah.
I need the World Series schedule in front of me. Yeah, I think I'm going to play the first 2 events. I was considering playing the first event and the third event, the casino employees event, and then the pot limit hold'em event.
Buttons here in seat 1. It's Joseph. Michael's going to limp into pocket 6s.
I think they're all reacting to game 4 of the NBA Finals on our numerous plasma TVs.
Got a raise here by Joseph with ace-10 offsuit. Gonna make it 30 to go. Michael's got 6s here. He is gonna pull the limp re-raise, it looks like, Dave, with 6s.
And he's really pot committed himself here.
Yeah.
And if you're Joseph, obviously it's an easy lay down with a hand like
ace-10 is
ace-10.
absolute garbage
You
here.
really can't beat much at all. Interesting email from Jared Pondelik. He says, basically, I'm going to go, any advice when I'm playing against a guy like Adam or Corporation Mike, somebody like that? Bart?
Well, Adam and Mike are different players, obviously. I don't think we
Clearly.
can necessarily categorize them as
But it is
one.
basically any help dealing with these type of opponents, players that are very laggy, loose players that are trying to bluff you a lot. They could have anything. You never know what kind of 2 cards
I
they
don't know.
have.
I mean, I can't really think off my top of my head like a general advice that I would necessarily give. I mean, I just think that you have to remember that calling with hands that are speculative against those guys' raises, you know, it's weird. As Michael brings it in for 30 here with queens, they might not have a hand that they hit big, where if you flop trips or 2 pair, you can get paid off. But at the same time, you might get paid off because they'll call down with 1 pair or they'll just bluff at you.
Right,
So
now,
it's
Joseph actually called this with 7-4 clubs, and that's going to bring Aaron in, who has ace-deuce of clubs. We get clubs out here, Joseph's in trouble.
So here we go, 3-way action. Jack 5, Jack here. Good flop from Michael. Probably a bet and a fold. Do you know what I'm saying? When we touched on that yesterday. Normally, when you're calling a hand with like a mid-suited connector or a pocket pair, and you hit your set or you hit trips or you hit 2 pair, in order for you to get paid a lot, the other guy has to hit them forward in a big way, meaning overpair, or meaning, you know, they flop top pair with a good kicker, something
Right.
like that. With those guys, they're not necessarily coming in with raises with premium hands, but what makes up for it is that, you know, Mike might raise with queen deuce, and I call with pocket 4s, and the flop comes queen 4-8, and he still might lose $5,000 with queen deuce.
Yeah, no,
you
he,
see what I mean?
he definitely could, because if he puts you on a hand like ace-queen or king-queen,
Right.
he might try to get you off it. Now, the only thing nice about playing pocket pairs against players like Mike or an Adam, those players are obviously always putting you back on your heels. They are a threat to your entire stack
Yeah.
on any given hand. And when you flop a set, you are more comfortable putting your stack at risk
Yeah.
than if you just have top pair.
I mean, Mike really crushed me a couple weeks ago when I was playing in the. Well, look at this. BB's limped in with kings. He's not going to get the limp re-raise.
Well, we're seeing this 7 ways, $35 pot, and it's all spades.
All
What a
spades.
terrible flop for kings.
And what can you do here if you've got kings in 8 ways? I mean, do you even put money in the pot? He's going to throw a bet.
Yeah, I don't mind. Wow, that's a big bet.
He's going to make a pot-sized bet. If you get called here, I just don't know how you can continue.
Now, it was actually straddled, so that was about a $50 pot, actually $70 pot, and he bets pot.
And that's going to get it done. Lucky for him. But my
Well, nobody
goodness.
has a jack, nobody's got a spade, nobody's got a 9. Well, Aaron's got a 9, but he's got 9-5, no spade.
I mean, Mike really crushed me. I hopped into a 10-20 game that started early a couple weeks ago, and he had raised, and I called him a big blind with Jack 10 suited. I had about 3,000 or 4,000 behind. Dave, the flop came out 10-10-4. I bet. He raised. Ed called all in. I re-raised, and Mike pushed in. Well, what the hell am I going to do?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it's a real tough
Because
spot.
he could do that with an overpair with aces. I think he might do the same thing. You know?
Well, he'd also do it with a worse 10.
Yeah, yeah.
He'd also do it with, you had Jack 10, he'd also do it with 10-9, 10-8, 10-7. I mean, he could be in there with anything. You really don't know. Puts you in a
This
tough
time
spot.
he ended up having ace 10. Right? You know, just my luck.
Yeah.
And he raised it right away on the flop.
Yeah, well, that's,
Yeah.
I mean, Mike has definitely gotten better
Yeah.
at misrepresenting his hand and not giving it away.
He is going to raise here at 25. Michael's got the same hand. And Michael is going to come over the top here. We often see this in this game. I don't mind the play from a cutoff raiser.
He's also short stacked. I don't mind this at all because if you do get called, you can pretty much almost move all in on the flop. This is the classic Russ Fox stop and go because you are short stacked. And if you're Kia, do you even want to get involved? You've got to realize that if your opponent does have a pocket pair, you're only going to see the flop. But he's going to call this. And the pot is quickly up about $150. Flop comes out. Wow, and they both flop the straight. Michael is free rolling because it's two hearts. 10 Jack Queen.
Yep.
And they're going to play it tricky. They both have the same hand, but Michael is free rolling. You see that he has a 4% chance of winning the pot. Kia cannot win this hand.
And Michael checked it looked like. And Kia's going to bet. He bet 60.
And do you ever believe that? I got to tell you, if a guy, I mean, let's start thinking about a hand here. A guy has re-raised me out of the blind, and the board comes out that. What is he telling me he re-raised with? Pocket eights?
Yeah.
I mean, you think about all the possible hands he might have. Aces, kings, queens, jacks, tens, ace, king. All of which he's got something. I mean, I just don't, you don't buy that. And you got to know that. And he's going to move all in, and Kia calls. And unless it comes out running hearts, we're going to chop this up.
Yep, like I said, running hearts here.
Oh, nice work by the dealer there showing us the cards.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
That's it.
Let's chop it up.
Chop it up. Follow-up email here from Alex Lee. And he was saying, let's be honest here, the Stern John goal was not obviously offside. In fact, it was onside, as we saw here in England. The sad part is that his goal is very important, since if a draw happens in the next matches and Trinidad and Tobago go on based on goal differential, are they still possible to move on if they win with 4 points?
Of course.
Because how many points does Sweden have?
Sweden's only got, well, Sweden now has 4. So if Sweden were to lose to England,
Right, right.
then Trinidad TNT can go on.
Yeah. And he goes on to say he meant no disrespect to you, Tuckman.
No, hey, no disrespect. Don't worry. Like I said, I don't take anything personal. I really don't.
Yeah.
Except if you talk about my gay dog. I take that personal.
Pocket kings over here for Ryan, and he's going to limp it. I'm going to tell you, I just see that move is so overused in this game. The limp re-raise.
It's just, you know, the funny thing is, Doyle Brunson wrote about it in Super System 1.
Yeah.
And it's gotten to the point now where everybody does it. I'm going to tell you a move that I like to do with aces or kings now in a tournament. I'm going to give it away.
Yeah.
Give away my secret.
And look at this. BB has raised out of the blind with pocket fives. Now, there are a couple other people in there. I wonder if Ryan, if he was heads up, can he smooth call?
I think he did smooth
He
call.
smooth calls. And, now you keep your fingers crossed, and great, you've got it heads up. He wanted what he wanted to accomplish. No reason to pop it there.
Right, pot's about $100.
Wow.
Wow. And is Ryan going to scare himself? Is he going to throw the hand away? I think you almost have to. Well, BB checks it.
And it
And
went
Ryan
check,
checked.
check. And now Ryan's got a set of kings now.
He's saying harsh, I'm saying bad.
And what is BB going to do?
BB checks, and Ryan moves all in. Instantly all in.
He's saying that's not a bad beat.
No, he checked. I was going to say.
No, he said all in.
Did he really?
Yeah. Yeah. Check, all in. Instantly. And it's over.
It's okay, right?
I don't understand the play.
No, I don't even. What were you saying before that, though?
Check, check. Okay, now I hit my set. I'm going to check, and I'm going to move all in. I'm going to move $300 into a $100
Yeah,
pot.
I don't quite understand that. What were you saying before that, though? Before that hand?
I don't know. Oh.
Oh,
okay.
yeah, the tournament. That's right. Yeah.
Okay. That limp re-raise move. Obviously, what I always think that I actually think that lets your opponents know what you have. I think it gives away too much information.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing, sometimes you can do it in a tournament. If you think you're going to be at the same table for quite a while, or even in a cash game, if you limp in one time under the gun with aces and you show everybody that, well, then later on it kind of gives you the freedom to limp in with kind of speculative hands because they're always scared that you might have pocket aces, so they don't want to raise you. But what I'd rather do is I'd actually almost rather, this is really only an early position, I mean first and second spot, raise it almost an obscene amount with aces or kings.
Yeah.
And you kind of throw somebody off because somebody in later position, first of all, you're only going to get played with big hands.
Right.
Which are those the kind of hands you want to get played with.
Right.
You want to get called by ace-king, ace-queen. You want to get called by kings, queens, jacks, tens, something like that.
And by raising it up so much, I mean, Helmuth always talks about how, and I think Negreanu wrote too, he said that sometimes you don't want to play a big pot with aces or kings, but then Negreanu said, I need to start playing big pots with aces or kings. If you raise it up big, you're not going to be able to get called by middle suited connectors and hands that can break aces or kings. You're really only going to get called by hands that you dominate.
There's also another thought about it is, oftentimes somebody will not put you on that big hand because they'll go, wait a second, you almost are scared to get called here because you're raising so much, and they think they're ace-jack, and they think they're ace-king, or even their jacks or
Pocket
tens
jacks.
have to be good.
Pocket jacks, because it seems like, oh man, I think this guy's got pocket nines or pocket tens.
Yeah, I mean, you almost play it like you're scared, like you don't want to get called. It was a play that Dan Harrington used a lot, and it was a play that somebody used against me in last year's World Series, and and it worked to perfection.
Allen has raised it up here with 8-9 suited from up front. 10 deuce 10 here on the flop, and Michael's got trip tens.
And this is one of those flops where I'm going to bet with a 10.
And he's going to bet.
No reason not to bet.
Yeah.
You can't expect somebody else to bet this hand for you. You really can't.
You got 65 here.
You're hoping somebody's got a pocket pair, and they don't believe you. And obviously nobody has that. Anyway,
Right, you hope someone sticks around here with pocket sevens, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Whenever you're ready. I assume Aaron's going to fold.
Yeah,
here.
Aaron's not going to play this.
Yeah.
Anyway, last year I was actually doing really well. I want to say it was a $2,000 no-limit tournament. It was probably like about 2 weeks in. And I had built up my 2,000 up to about 9,000 or 10,000 relatively early. I was really playing well. I got moved to a new table where I didn't know the players. But I still had probably the second most chips on the table. Anyway, somebody who had a lot of chips, not quite as many as me, raised it up. Now the blinds were like, I want to say the blinds were like 200, 400. And he made it, I believe he made it like 2,500 to go in first position. And I looked down at ace-king suited.
Yeah.
And I looked at it and I go, this guy is scared of something.
Right.
What is he doesn't want to, I don't think he wants to see something, you know what I mean? And I really thought, I go, this guy's got like 9s or 10s. I think I can get him off it. Let's see what happens. And I decided the smooth call. I was in position, and I thought maybe I could use a jack or a queen as a scare card as well. Anyway, the flop came out like deuce, deuce, blank, or something like that. He put in somewhat of a little weakish bet, which is what I thought. I ended up moving in on him, thinking I thought he was weak, and he had aces.
Yeah.
And crushed me.
Oh, and that's the hand you went out on, right?
No, it's actually not the hand, but it's the hand that crippled me.
But you went out on an all-in with ace-king against aces as well, right? I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did.
8-5 deuce here on the flop. We get a raise by Francois with queen deuce. And he's hit the best hand. And he's going to bet it. I mean, am I right about that? I heard that you were ace-king against aces.
That was the first tournament, yeah.
Oh, this is a different tournament.
Yeah, different
okay.
tournament. No, this was actually, like I said, there was probably 1,500 people in this tournament. We were down to like 350.
Yeah.
I didn't cash in this tournament.
Okay.
It was just, we talk about sometimes if you play your strong hand strong, you misrepresent because nobody believes that you would play that hand so strong. And that's kind of what this guy did to me because he played his aces so strong, I didn't think he was that strong.
Look at this comment here from Dr. Allen. He says, my wife and I adopted a baby girl to add to our family, and I'm picking the family up this weekend, so there's a few more important things to do for a few months.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Yep.
Well, congratulations to Dr. Allen. That is really great. I tell you, this is the feel-good show.
Yeah. King queen suited here for seat 8. He's going to raise it up, Ryan. Make it 25 to go. And Francois is going to call here with ace-3 offsuit. He's going to check blind. Jack 5-8. And Ryan checks right behind him. And I assume Francois is probably going to bet out here with a blank.
He didn't say all in. He said check.
If a guy checks blind too, you ever just bet blind?
Turns
Do you?
6. No, Francois is going to check. And Ryan checks. Wow.
Do you have something?
The river is a 7.
An ace high is good.
I think you got me beat. King high good. King high good?
Oh, what a character.
Look at that. Didn't want him to bet his king high.
Yeah.
That's classic.
Let's take a look at another chip count coming up here. There we go. Almost
Yeah.
5,000 on the table now.
Yeah, Joseph got the table covered. Ruben in second place. Ryan and Dr. B with 400. Nobody's really short stacked, though. It's a nice table. See how they're doing? Yeah, Joseph's up a quick $500. Ruben up $400. Allen up $250, and the rest of the table is down. Ryan and Dr. Beebe are our big losers so far. And we'll keep track of this for the next hour and a half.
A follow-up email here by Jared. We'll get to it in a second. Francois is going to bring this one in for 30 with pocket deuces. And again, I wonder sometimes if people playing this game to advertise, or if he actually plays this way, because I just don't see how that's a good move in early position.
I don't know how much advertising. I mean,
Yeah, that's why, I always said that.
it's not like
but-
he advertises it here and then he goes plays in the 2040 game.
Right. 9-6-3 here. Well, Michael's got 8s. Now, if you're Michael, do you bet right in here? No, he checked it. If Francois is going to bet. And again, if you're Michael, you've got no information now. I mean, can you play his hand as a check raise? We say no. Commit way too much money. But he's going to check raise.
Yeah, well, he likes to do that. It really puts a tough spot. Obviously, you're only going to get called by a hand that can beat you. I mean,
Well, if he makes the same move with a set. And Francois coming over the top of him with deuces. Wow. And this is exactly what we're talking about. If you check raise with 8s, and now the guy pushes, what do? There's no real draw unless Francois got overcards and clubs here.
I don't think you can call this. I really don't. Now, Michael gets a lot more information by betting right into Francois rather than check raising. And I don't think Michael can call this. What can he beat? I mean, he can beat 7-8. He can beat 4-5.
I mean, best case scenario, Francois got clubs and overcards. You say that maybe 40% of the time in an overpair.
Yeah, I mean,
Another
I guess the
50%,
best, maybe
Stone
it's
Cold Bluff.
Ace-7 of clubs, something like that.
Stone Cold Bluff maybe 10% of the time. In this case, it is a Stone Cold Bluff.
Unless he thinks Michael's on clubs, and he thinks his deuces are good.
And again, I don't understand it with Francois. Like, I don't know if he showboats here on this table. Kind of has that personality, but I mean, I don't think I see him play this way in the 500 when he comes over.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to push when you only got $400.
Yeah,
You got
yeah.
3,000 there. It's harder to make that move. I want to follow up, and he's going to throw it away.
You don't watch the show? You're going to miss this hand if you don't watch the show. You said you shall.
When he shows the deuces, a couple of ducks. But again, though, inherently, we talk about if you play that flop as a check raise with 8s, or even as a check raise with 10s, or even jacks, if you get pushed back, logic would say you are beat. And a lot of times you see someone think, oh, I've committed so much money, I'm going to call, and then they lose to aces or kings there.
Well, if you get called, you got to think you're probably beat.
Yeah.
I mean, it really does put you in a tough spot. Now, to follow up on Jared's email, he had mentioned, he said, how do you play with these players like Adam or Mike? One thing that I really want to caution people, when you are playing against somebody who's very laggy, likes to play a lot of hands, you have to realize that sometimes they get a big hand. I have actually seen, I remember Scott Fishman was playing in a tournament, obviously during the World Series last year, and sure enough, he picked up pocket kings. And some guy re-raised them all in after Scott Fishman had initially raised. They turned over the hands. Fishman was way ahead, and he goes, man, you raise every hand. Why do you have to have kings this time?
Yeah.
And you got to realize these players get hands, too, and you don't want to go broke just thinking they always have garbage.
Five-way action here. 6-4-4 here on the flop. Ryan playing deuce 6 of clubs here from up
And he
front.
doesn't bet it.
New setup, please.
He's actually, there's only one player behind him. I don't understand why you're playing 6 deuce. Why not bet it there?
I thought that was exciting.
And now the queen comes off, and now Michael's got the best hand. I'm sorry, actually, Aaron has the best hand. Queen 7. It's not up there. There it is. And I assume he's going to take it down, and he does. Now, obviously, 6 deuce of clubs, I'm probably not playing the hand at all, but if I'm in there, I'm not looking for a 6. But if it gets checked to me, I'm going to put some money in there. Why not?
Of course, you can join our MySpace page.
How many friends do we have now?
Oh, almost 1,000. MySpace.com/live at the bike. You know, the other follow-up in that email by Jared, he said, is there a point, first of all, do you continuation bluff these guys if you raise pre-flop on that call? And is there any point in semi-bluffing with your draws? We touched on that a couple episodes ago as well. Certain tables, there really is I mean, you got to understand what a semi-bluff is. If there's never fold equity, then the semi-bluff tool is worthless, right?
It's just, you're just basically building a pot hoping you hit your draw.
Right.
If there's no fold equity.
Yeah.
I think it's really dangerous. One of the reasons I like to play guys that are real laggy like that, Mike, Adam, I like to play them in position. I like to play anybody in position, but especially those guys.
Right.
If I raise pre-flop with ace-king, the flop comes out rags and they check to me, I'm going to put a continuation bet in there. You're giving away too much and you're giving them too much of an advantage if you're going to play it so passive that you're only going to bet when you hit your hands.
Uh-huh.
I mean, if I know somebody raises with ace king, but will only continuation bet if they hit their hand, I can almost call them with any 2 cards.
Butt moves over here to seat number 3.
Now, when I'm playing somebody like Mike or Adam, obviously they've got to be aware that if the flop comes out 6 deuce deuce, I'm going to bet pocket aces there. I'm going to bet pocket jacks there, but I'm also going to bet ace king there. And if they want to, they can check raise me. And if I have ace king, they'll probably take it down. But if I have aces, they can be in a lot of trouble.
Two ace queens here, seat number 9 and seat 3 on the button.
You know, any other day I would have had 10 easily on that flop.
And we got an ace king here in seat number
Dr.
7.
Beebe.
Beebe's got it.
All the aces are dead.
Is that okay with anybody?
Ace 6, ace 5 over there in seat 1. And Francois straddle. BB's going to raise it up here. Kind of a smallish raise in a straddle pot. He made it 25 to go. Real small in straddle
That is really
pot.
strong, yeah.
You wonder if he even realized that it was straddled.
Well, he is eating some soup.
Well, no one's going to hit an ace here. They're all dead. Called by ace queen. Called by ace queen. Michael calls with 7-10 of diamonds.
And Francois tosses in as well. And we're going to see this.
5 ways, 125 here to the flop.
And there's the king.
Now, nobody has a jack. BB's got the best hand here with ace king. $125 pot. How much is he going to bet? 50. Kind of a weakish bet.
You know, it is a weak bet, but at the same time, I actually think it's too weak. But it does get a little bit of information. There's no flush draw out there. Would somebody call you with queen 10? Maybe. That's the only draw. But you
And
know,
look at this. Kia's gonna raise him. He's gonna min raise it here.
well, Kia, you know, he senses the weakness.
Now,
And BB's really induced this bluff,
now,
hasn't he?
what I was gonna say, Dr. BB in a bigger game might fold here. I think in this game he actually might come back over the top. We'll see. He's gonna call. Now Kia does have a straight draw to the 10 here.
Yep.
Here we go to the turn. Turn is a 7. Pot is $325. Now, if you're Kia, do you take another shot at it? Trying to represent the jack? He's going to bet 120 here into a $320 pot.
Now, this is the question I want to ask you. Would Kia play a jack this way?
If he would, then it puts BB to the test.
Right. Oftentimes, if I'm trying to represent the jack against normal competition,
Yeah. You might
almost
call the flop
smooth-
and raise the turn,
because
right?
people think that's
Right.
the way you play a jack. Now, it's not the way you and I would play a jack, but people think that, so you go, okay, I'll smooth call once. That'll freeze BB. Because BB will go, what is this guy calling me with? And then on the turn, if he puts a bet in there, I can raise.
And again, I don't know if BB, I think if you're Kia here and BB makes this call, you've got to realize that you just got to give up if you don't hit your straight on the river, right?
Oh, definitely.
You can't bet again. I mean, the pot now is about $600. You only have 200 left. The river's a 6. Kia needs to give up now.
Yeah, I just don't think BB's going anywhere.
I believe BB has checked.
Well, there's no value to betting this with BB.
Yeah,
is it?
and Key's going to give up.
I mean, unless you think you get called by King Queen.
Right. You know, sometimes we talk about, we've seen it a couple times on the show, when you're looking at stack sizes on the turn and you know you're bluffing, if you're going to bluff again on the turn, you need, let's say you're on a draw or something and you miss the river, you need to make a bet on the turn that allows yourself to make another effective bluff on the river. So you need to manipulate the bet size and the pot size and the other guy's stack size in that manner. We saw that the hand that originated That's Allen with 6-3 of hearts, where Eugene committed too much money on the turn. And by the time the river came around, Allen called Eugene's bet because it was like 1/15 the pot size on the river.
Right.
Because he had bet too much on the turn.
And Allen called him with a pair of threes.
Right.
And it's one of the rare circumstances where, let's say the flop were to come out King 10-4, you have like 6-7 of hearts, you have a draw, you have a heart draw, but somebody's got Queen Jack and you put him on Queen Jack. Well, if it gets checked down, obviously the Queen High will win. But if you can bet on the river, obviously they're not going to call you.
Right.
With Queen High. They might not even call you if they catch a Jack or a Queen, putting you on a King.
Four-way action here. Jack, 6, Jack.
Jacks are live. Want to play the pair game?
Turns at 10.
No, Michael's got an open-ended straight draw, and he's going to toss in a couple of chips. Makes it 15 to go. And Ryan's going to raise this up with 10-8. Makes it 15 more, kind of a min raise, kind of like the... you wonder if it's a raise to get a free showdown. I imagine it is. Michael's missed now. Is he going to bluff at it? And if he's going to bluff at it, he's got to put about 100 in there at least. And he's going to bet...
80? Yeah, I bet to 80.
80, and Ryan throws it away. Okay, nice bet there.
Email here from David Gladstone. I don't think you were referring to this, but he says the problem with big raises with ace-ace, if you recall, Anthony Curtis made an absurd raise in level 1 of last year's World Series of Poker main event with pocket aces, and the blinds were 25-50. He raised to 1,000. Sammy Farho had already doubled up, called with pocket threes in the big blind, knowing if he hit, he would bust his second opponent. Flop came with 3, he checked. Curtis bet 6,000. Farha pushed. Curtis has to call, and he goes home in less than 2 hours. He says, I think that such a big raise almost commits you to the river. Maybe not a bad thing, but also unnecessary at the early levels. And I don't think you were referring to the early levels.
Definitely not.
Right.
Not even close.
Yeah.
It was more of, I'm talking about more like 12 levels in or 10 levels into the tournament. You've got 25,000 or 30,000 in chips. The blinds are 1,000, 2,000.
I can never understand how anyone really goes broke in the first couple levels of a tournament like that, unless you just get, an unbelievable second best hand, like say you get tops full house versus quads. You know what I mean? I just...
You never know, though. Sometimes, you have the best hand. Somebody raises you. They push you. You bet. They raise you. You have the best hand at the time, and then you end up getting a bad beat.
Well, no, I understand that, and I've heard stories about seat number one here. Joseph's going to bet here on the 8. He's probably going to do it. He's probably going to take it down.
Nobody plans on getting knocked out.
This Ryan check calls here with 4-10 offsuit. And Joseph is good here with 6-8. Turns an ace. And do you bet here again if you have an 8?
At this point, I probably put my opponent on diamonds, and I'm going to bet one more time and then take the free showdown.
He is going to bet. Real weak. Bets 30. And Ryan is just going to call. Well, Ryan needs a 10 or a 4 here. River's a jack. And now he's going to come out and bet.
Representing what?
I don't understand what he's representing here.
What, he's trying to represent an ace?
Yeah, did he check, call, now bet the river? I just don't know if Joseph's hand is even strong enough to call here.
Yeah, I think Joseph's going to throw this way. I'm not sure if Joseph is thinking of what is Ryan trying to represent here. Would he play an ace this way?
The funny thing is, what actually somebody might do this with is with an 8, figuring they're going to chop it, and he's trying to bet Joseph off of a chop pot here with the jack there on the river, right?
Or he'd be betting. I actually would be more prone to calling this, thinking this guy had diamonds and he missed.
Well, that too, yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense. You're going to tell me the guy has an ace and he wasn't scared of diamonds? So he just checked it twice, giving you free cards?
Yeah, this one doesn't make a whole lot of sense at all.
You got to realize when you want to bluff, the card's got to make sense. One thing Mike is very good at, by the way, Corporation Mike, He's very good at figuring out what hands make sense. So when he's bluffing, it's not just kind of a dry. And look, he's shaking his head like, what does this guy have?
And we saw that amazing bluff race on the river. Like I said, straight out of Phil Ivey, if you've ever seen that clip about Monte Carlo Millions where he re-raised that guy with almost no fold equity. I mean, he knew he had nothing. I mean, Mike did that to, what was that kid's name? The guy, the Asian kid. What's his name? Mike? Not Mike.
Tim.
Mike did it to Tim. And look at that.
And he calls.
Yeah, he's going to call.
It just doesn't make sense. You know what? I mean, you got to give Joseph some credit there. He pieced it together, and it just didn't make any sense to him. He goes, wait a second, what is this guy betting? Would he bet an 8? Would he bet? It's almost screaming. This guy's either got aces full or nothing at all.
Again, going back to that hand, I mean, Mike, he trusted his read. The interesting thing, though, is that he was on the flush draw.
Tremendous read. Obviously, It's very difficult to put your opponent on a flush draw when you have a flush draw also. If you're wondering what we're talking about, you should go to the archives. Go to liveatthebike.com. Top left-hand corner, you can click on the archive banner, and you can check out last night's show. Absolutely phenomenal show. Corporation Mike bluffed Tim there, and Tim was bluffing the entire way, but Tim had the best hand with queen high. Pocket kings here for seat number 2. That's Alan.
He's going to raise it up.
I mean, that's Alan, but that's Alan.
Another email here by Alex Lake. You'll read it because you can tell he's an Englishman. Some of the vocabulary he uses. And he's going to take it down. He says, absolutely love the commentary. Best in the business. Without question, no other poker site is as in-depth or as good. I love poker commentary, although the features on food are dubious. English food is dubious. Kebabs, bangers, and mash. And your favorite squeak is dodgy. Plowmans are not that good, to be honest, either. I believe that the USA is such an unknown quantity that they will get a result against Italy. England will go through. Well, England's already gone through, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, what are the
U.S. will get a result against Italy? What result? Like a loss?
Now, did you take a look at the second round? If England is the 1 out of their group, who do they play? Who's the 2? I'll have to look at that.
Yeah, I don't know. That I don't know. Alex, why do you live in England? This guy's like an England hater. That he's native.
King 10-7 here with a couple of spades.
Now, Joseph's got a 10 there, but he's in earliest position, so he's not going to bet it. Michael's going to take a shot at it, though. He's got absolutely nothing. This is a stone-cold bluff. He's got 9-5 of diamonds. And Joseph's going to call. I always kind of point out, if you're going to call, I'd rather be the better. And here's a queen, another scary card there for ace-10. He's picked up a straight draw, though. He can get a jack now also. But he has the best hand, and Michael actually can't win. And if you think you're the best hand here, why not bet it? And he's going to check it again, and is Michael going to fire a second bullet? He is, wow, and he's going to bet $100. Now, I don't think Joseph's going to call, and he doesn't. Cannot call there.
Rooney really looks like an Englishman, doesn't he? Like that face, and the big ears,
clearly
crooked teeth.
Yeah. Also, I mean, I got to tell you, I'm very lucky. My wife being English and my mother-in-law obviously being English, they're tremendous cooks. I know English food sucks at a whole, but they're very good cooks. And I guess since I only go to England maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks out of the year, when I go there, I enjoy the food since I don't live there. I
actually like English food. I like that. I mean, it's not French food. I mean, it's not 5-star food. But people, they're always fat ragging on English food. But I don't think people know really what English food is. But even you don't do some of the real genuine stuff like the blood sausage.
Yeah, I'm going to stay away from that.
Black pudding.
Yeah. Limped around 5 ways. Jack 7-6. Now you wonder oh wow, look at that.
And Ryan's in there with Jack 6. He's flopped 2 pair. Alan's going to bet out with King Jack.
Now I got to tell you, that's a hand that has no value at all, except when the very rare time you get lucky enough to flop top 2 pair, well actually top and bottom.
And Ryan just calls. And look at Kia. He does not over. Oh, excuse me. Kia's not in the hand there.
No, he's not.
Turns a queen.
I mean.
And wow. Alan moved in, and Ryan...
And Alan can catch a 7, a queen, or a king.
Yeah, here we go to the river. River's a 10. I'm surprised. I mean, it looked like Ryan moved in, and Alan instantly called. instantly. I mean, he beats Jack 10, but at that point he still doesn't beat Queen Jack, obviously.
And I guess that's the value with Jack 6.
Yeah, right, 2 pair.
Button moves over to seat number 9. That's Ruben. Small blind is $5. Big blind is $5. Kia, like the car. He's under the gun. He's first to act.
So England is in Group B, and the first place winner of Group B plays the second place winner of Group A. And Group A contains Germany. And vice versa, if you finish second in Group B,
So they're going to either play Germany or Ecuador.
Yeah, you play the first. So obviously you want to finish first so that you play Ecuador as opposed to finishing second in Group B and playing.
Ecuador is actually 2-0 also now.
Right, no, but I mean playing Germany at home in the second round
No,
is
no,
going to be a
clearly.
tough game.
Yeah, clearly you'd
Yeah.
rather play Ecuador.
Yeah.
And, well, Germany's actually, England has to beat Sweden, or actually draw or beat Sweden to get the number 1 seed. If Sweden beats England, they'll have the number 1 seed. Apparently. Now we got a raise here out of seat number 4.
Yeah, ace jack.
That's Aaron,
clubs.
yep. And he gets called in 3 spots. We got an $80 pot. Flop comes out with 2 hearts, Queen 7-7.
Joseph in there with Queen 8. He's flop top pair.
Now Ryan and Alan both have heart draws, and Alan is virtually drawing dead. Look at the percentages there because
Now,
of the hearts.
Again, that is what we call a dry flush draw out of position.
And Ryan's
going to move in here.
he is not moving in. He's actually betting 100.
Oh, he bets 100. He's got 100 left.
Yeah.
That is the definition of a dry flush draw here for 4 deuce.
It really is.
That is not the flop you were looking for. And again, Joseph is once again put to the test in there with a hand that he has no idea where he's at. He's going to call with Queen 8, but again, and he did it with King 9 earlier.
And
too.
Alan throws away the deuce 4 of hearts, realizing that, you know what, maybe one of these guys is a queen, maybe one of them has a 7,
Now,
but I can't be in there with deuce 4
Ryan
hearts.
can catch an ace here or a heart.
And you can see, obviously, he's not a big underdog.
We know 2 of the hearts are dead. The turn's a 5. Let's see how Ryan's going to play this. Is he going to take the card? He's going to move in. He's on the short stack. Again, is there equity to move in here on the turn? I wonder if you just take the card and then just fold the river or just check the river at the end if you miss.
Now notice something. Remember when Ryan had the set of kings?
Yeah.
He verbally said, I'm all in, and he didn't put his chips out there because he knew they were coming back. He didn't need to threaten his opponent. He didn't need to intimidate his opponent. But here, he obviously wants his opponent to fold. He only has ace high, so he's putting his chips out there. Just a little physical tell you might pick up on.
I mean, Joseph has won a lot of money tonight by calling with top pair speculative kicker, and that's going to lose you more money in the long term. And again, he is put to the test here. Calling a raise with Queen 8 and getting in there with a Queen high flop.
Although we see it time and time again at the bike, it seems like if you just let people bluff into you, you can make a lot of money here.
You can't beat a real queen. You can't beat a 7. The only thing he can beat here is obviously if the guy's on a flush draw. And this time he looks like he's going to fold.
Yeah, he throws it away. Obviously, he can't beat a queen and he can't beat a 7.
And he shows a flush draw.
And the river's a 10. Takes it down.
But moves over here to seat 9.
I gotta tell you, I think I gotta tell you, England actually got kind of a raw deal. I mean, Ecuador is playing great too, and obviously you don't want to play Germany. That's a tough second game. Second round game opening. I mean, if you look at the winner of Group C, for example, like Argentina or the Netherlands, they're going to play the second place team in Group D, I assume.
Yeah, I think
which
so.
is going to be like
Right.
Mexico or Portugal.
Right. No, it's intriguing in the game tonight. If Ryan's got King Queen here, or this afternoon. You know the guy in seat 4, the Asian guy I was talking to.
Right.
He's actually from Paraguay. That's why he knows
Really?
a lot about
Wow, okay.
about soccer. And he's watched every game.
Now, Ecuador, what did they finish up? What were they, like the number 2 team or the number 3 team in South America?
I don't remember how the Combial thing went.
You don't know?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, you talk about a second round game that's tough. If it finishes up Czech Republic 1, Italy 2, Italy Brazil will probably be the one.
Wow, that would be yeah.
I mean, what a match!
Yeah, for the second round.
And look at, Group it's almost like Spain is getting a pass.
Yeah. I mean, Spain got it. I mean, as bad as the Ukraine played, they were supposed to be the second best team in that group. The way they played, it doesn't look like they might not even get out of that group.
Well, Saudi Arabia hasn't won a game, hasn't won a World Cup game in 8 games, and I think Tunisia is 9. It's something like that.
Yeah.
And then Spain gets to play the second place team in Group G, which looks like it might be like.
Yeah, but it could be France or Switzerland or Korea. You know,
It's not great. I mean, it's not like we're not talking Brazil.
5-way action here. Ace 7-8 rainbow. Got ace deuce here. Ace deuce of diamonds for Francois.
Live at the bike, man. You come here for everything. You want to talk about food. You want to talk about sports. We got poker, girls.
Now, Kia bets out there with 4-8, and Francois makes the laydown, and I think that is a good laydown with ace-deuce. Ace-deuce of diamonds.
I'd like to make Tuesdays sex talk. Kind of like, call in. Remember that Dr. Drew show? What was that?
Loveline.
Yeah,
It's
Loveline.
still on there. Adam Carolla's not on the show anymore.
There you
He does
go.
Morning radio.
We should have that sex talk. Email us with your sexual problems. We'll talk about it.
Remember watching MTV? It used to be on. They took it on TV in the late '90s.
Right,
Loveline.
yeah. I did.
Butt moves over here to seat 2. Adam Carolla's a funny guy.
Doesn't he do the Man Show?
Well, that was years ago.
Okay.
I told you. Now he's
Howard Stern's professor, right?
Yeah, he's left Loveline
Right.
because now he does morning here on KR. What the hell is it now? What's 97.1? I always forget. KLSS.
You listen to him?
No, I listen to Stern.
Pocket 8s here for seat number 3. Kia's got the 8s. Pocket 6s for Dr. Beebe. And Ruben's got a King 10 of hearts. And seat 9, Ruben's going to make it 35 at the King 10 of hearts. Not a bad play in the cutoff spot. I might bring that in for a raise in this game as well. You buy yourself the button, plus you have position on all streets now. And you're going to get called by Kia. And I imagine Beebe will call with 6s as well. No, Kia, wow. Beebe does not call the 6s, and we're heads up here. Pot is $75.
You wonder because he was deep enough to call us.
Really was. I'm surprised.
Here we go to the flop.
And there's a set of 8s there. Now, Ruben is open-ended. Does
There's
he
three
take the card?
3 diamonds here.
Well, might go check. Well, looks like he is going to bet right into it, though.
Well, I mean, people slow play their set, but are you going to slow play the set on that board there with
No,
the 3
probably not.
flush? And Ruben's not even going to get involved with it.
Throws away right away.
Now, if Ruben had King of Diamonds 10, obviously I think he's going to stick around maybe.
Definitely,
Yeah.
obviously. And the turn was a deuce of clubs, and the river was a queen of clubs. Ruben would not have gotten there, and Kia would have actually filled up 8s full of queens.
She's been 2 years in a row. The best winner on Maximum.
I am, like I said, I'm upset that I have satellite radio, Sirius, and that I also, have radio in my car, and I can't get the World Cup games because they're exclusively on XM. So I end up being able to watch the first game of that noontime Pacific game, and then I miss the second half, or I get here for about 15 minutes
Right,
left, and I actually missed that goal today. Sweden, did you see the end of that game?
I didn't know. I missed it as well.
You were buying salmon at Whole Foods.
Yeah, it was, exactly. Well, the way
Dave brought in
Sweden...
this 3-ounce piece of salmon that he paid like $20 from Whole Foods today.
Actually,
for lunch.
it was a full half pound.
Alan
It
is
was a
raised.
full half pound for $9.
Okay. Alan is raised it where with the That's Alan in. 30 to go.
I gamble for thousands of dollars every night. I think I can treat myself to a $9 piece of salmon.
I'll play crossword now.
Well,
Wow, nice flop. That's a nice flop for Michael.
Nut flush draw and a gut shot to the jack. Now, is he going to check raise here?
Now, obviously, in this situation, Alan's done with it. Okay.
Yeah.
He's going to bet into him. Michael's going to check. He's going to raise, semi-bluff,
Yeah.
and Alan's going to throw it away. But I'm going to ask you, if you can leave this on there for 1 second, Lonnie. If your opponent were to have an ace, what is the card you want to see?
Offsuit jack.
Exactly.
Yeah.
People always talk about, they go, well, the diamond comes, I had the nuts. But if the
Right.
diamond comes, it's not hidden, and your
Right.
opponent probably gets away from the jack.
Yeah.
But if your opponent has ace-king, and say the jack of hearts were to come out, they might not see it. Now, a good player probably going to get away from ace-king anyway. But
I don't even know if you get Alan
Having
off
said
of
it,
an
thank
ace.
you very
You
much.
might get Alan off of a weak ace there. Maybe does Alan get away from ace jack to the check raise there? He's obviously not going anywhere with ace king or ace queen.
right.
Ace jack, ace 10, questionable.
Another email here from Alex Lee about the about USA football, or soccer, as we say it here.
saying, was it the Czechs that played so well, or did the U.S. just play awful?
What do you think about that?
I think it's a combination of both. I mean, you got to see. Looking forward to seeing another game by the Czechs to see how good they really are, too.
Right, and a lot of it. We'll see a lot on Saturday. Obviously, if the Czechs destroy,
if the Czechs be gone like 9-0, you wonder.
That's not going to happen.
No, but something outrageous like that.
9-0.
5-0, 4-0. You know what I mean? Something
Even if they
outrageous.
beat them 3-0 again.
Yeah.
And we'll see obviously how USA responds against Italy. If they lose 3-0 or 2-0 to Italy, well then obviously.
Yeah. Now we had a raise here. I believe it was by Ryan with Ace-10. He checks here, and Joseph called him with King-6 offsuit.
And he's going to bet. He's got
the
top
best
pair.
hands.
Yeah.
Again, boy, there isn't much value there with King-6. Isn't much value calling the raise with King-8 a suited either.
No, it's not at all. I mean, obviously you've got to realize a hand like King-6. Once again, hand like that, you're going to win a small pot or lose a big one, unless you get really lucky and the flop comes out King-6 deuce, and your opponent can't get away from Ace-King.
Yeah.
But you got to realize how many things have to go right for you to make money on that hand.
Got about an hour left in the show here, Dave.
Yeah, I'll tell you. In a deep stack tournament, you were talking about obviously raising big with pocket aces in early position. Early in a tournament, I'm playing pocket aces
as a small pot,
really passively.
Yeah.
Really passively. I'm not even gonna,
unless you hit a set, obviously, or something like that.
If I hit a set, or it's a raised pot and I'm getting it heads up against a pretty predictable player who I think has jacks or queens or kings.
Right.
But I'm not going to go broke with one pair in the first level of the main event of the World Series.
Now, this was an interesting. I actually was going to bring this up. Oliver Hudson again. This is an email from Kostia.
Yeah.
Oliver Hudson against Sammy Farha. Would you go broke with that hand? I'll get to it in a second for anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about. Ace-3 jack here on the flop, couple clubs. And Joseph is going to come out and bet here with a weak ace. And Michael is going to call in position here with a jack. Michael could represent clubs. He might just see what Joseph does here on the turn.
He might get a free card.
Turns a 4.
I mean, you got a hand like Ace-6 here. Well, Joseph's not going to give him the free card.
Keep betting here.
I don't mind the bet. I mean, with 2 clubs out there, I don't want to give him a free card.
Again, if you've called here, say it was limped around, Dave, in the bet, and there's a bet, and I had like something like Ace-9 suited, and the guy bet out, or Ace-10, and I called on the button, I think you can actually raise the turn here as a limit play, and if he calls, take a free showdown, because it adds some fold equity to a hand, although with a hand as good as Ace-10, you might just call because you're going to beat Ace-Rag. But say you get Ace-Deuce of spades here.
No, but it's it is a way to control pot size, and obviously if you raise on the turn and you get re-raised, you can easily throw away your Ace-10 or your Ace-9.
Exactly, yeah.
Not a bad play, obviously.
Oliver Hudson, he had pocket 10s.
Do you know, I'd love to know, I mean, obviously I know the hand, but if you could give me how it happened and how the action
I do know how it happened.
We'll go through it while Michael is tortured here with the jack. Now, if Michael's going to call this, he's got to know that he can. Well, he's going to throw it away. I was going to say he better be thinking I'm going to represent clubs. Deuce of spades on the river wouldn't have changed anything.
Well, I think.
Okay, go ahead.
Someone can.
Sammy Farha versus Oliver Hudson.
I believe Oliver Hudson raced with pocket 10s.
Okay.
Sammy Farha called with Ace-10.
Okay.
The pot was like $200.
Nothing, right?
Something like that.
First level.
Yeah, it was more than that.
It was like the third hand,
3
right?
or 400, right? The flop came Ace, Ace, 10.
Okay.
Hudson checked. Farha checked.
Okay.
Turn was a blank.
What a surprise.
Hudson now bets, 400 or something like that. 300 or 400. Okay. Sammy now raises. And now Hudson just moves all in for like 10,000. So that's where he goes wrong. And again, someone can correct me if I didn't have that wrong. But that's what happened. Bet, raise, all in. Four-way action here. And my question to you there, though, is if you actually...
Wow, flop straight here for Dr. Beebe, but there's 3 diamonds out there. You really can't play this slow.
And he's going to come out and bet. And if I am correct about that action, and again, I might not be 100% correct,
it was $200, a $400 bet, and like a raise to what, like 1,000?
Yeah,
and then I'm all in.
Farhad raised. Can you really re-raise all in there in that case? Because Farhad is not going to jeopardize his tournament life in the first level with Ace-X there. That's not a full house, right? Now, the only thing for Oliver Hudson is I think Farhad knew he was an amateur. So, Farhad might think this guy might be doing it with a shitty kicker, and my kicker might play.
Well, that's the only question.
Yeah.
You wonder, is Farhad, is the guy thinking to himself, well, if I move all in, Farhad will probably just put me on, some sort of weak ace.
Right.
And maybe I can get called by, ace-jack or ace-queen.
Pocket aces here for Ruben in seat 9.
Obviously, it's a cold-decked hand. You've got to realize, I always talk about I want the winning hand. I don't want a really good second-best hand.
But again, I don't know if I'm going to really commit all of my life in the first level with bottom full house. I might do something to control pot size. You know what I mean? I mean, you might end up looking like an idiot, but I don't think I'm taking all of Farhad's money if I'm not beat. I might bet, he might raise, I might call. I might bet the river he might raise, and then I just call again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, obviously later in the tournament, when the blinds are so high relative to stacks, obviously all the money's going to go in the flop, and there's nothing you can do with pocket tens there. You just tap the table and you go, man, well, hey, great hands. What was the turn card? Not like it makes a difference, but...
I don't remember.
Ruben's going to continue betting here. Bets $40. And, and Joseph's going to continue calling here. Calls at the 8, and we've got quickly about $160 pot. River is the queen of spades. Now, you got to realize with 2 3s out there, and Ruben checks it. Wow. Joseph probably thinks he's good here, but he's not. Ruben's got 2 pair. And Ruben, obviously, if Joseph were to catch a 6 there, it is not good because Ruben would have a higher 2 pair. You got to realize that. Sometimes if your opponent has an overpair and there's another pair on the board, 2 pair is no good. You need a 6 there and only a 6. Or an 8 there and only an 8. Now back to that hand with Oliver Hudson. You've got to also realize, I'm not sure what the turn card came out. But if it came out like Jack, Queen, King, or Ace.
Oh, yeah, then there's more
You've really got to realize
No,
what value is there?
It wasn't an overcard to the 10 on the turn, from what I remember.
But even then, you got to start thinking, man, this guy is... Yeah, I don't know. Bottom full house is definitely vulnerable.
Like I said, I might do something to control. I might just call and call.
Because again, when Farhad raises me, he's telling me he has an ace.
Because remember, when I'm against Farhad, now maybe against an amateur, like I said, a guy that might do that and think that ace is the nuts, I might have to say, wow, do I want to put my tournament life at risk here, or could I accumulate a lot of chips right now?
But will somebody commit with ace king?
But against Farhad, though, he's not going to do that. That's my point. You know what I mean? It's just...
Yeah, it's a strange play.
Yeah.
Although Men the Master actually said that he got knocked out of a big-time tournament very early, I think in the first level, because he raised and somebody moved all in on the first level with pocket aces. And he called them with pocket kings, thinking, well, nobody would ever do that with aces. And unfortunately for him, he figured the guy had queens or maybe ace-king.
Yeah. And then there's this infinitely long thread or topic that always comes up on 2+2 occasionally, where someone says, if you've got pocket aces, would you lay it down pre-flop in the first level of the World Series of Poker? Such an asinine question.
What's the question?
Would you lay down pocket aces because you don't want to risk going broke in the first level of the World Series?
Pre-flop?
Right, pre-flop. Would you not go all in with that hand? 8, 6, 7 here with a couple of hearts. Michael is going to bet here with 5, 6. And I guess it's an asinine question, but I guess sometimes somebody makes the argument, there's so much dead money, why do I want to put myself at an 80-20 risk there when I can pick up better spots? But what kind of better spot are you going to hedge at an 80-20? I mean, that's what you have to take, right?
Make it 90 total?
In poker.
I'd love to take that edge.
Right. Raised here by Dr. Beebe as a stone cold bluff with ace deuce. Bet by Michael. Beebe raises, and he's going to take it down.
Nice play by Beebe there.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I'm trying to hypothetically think of a place where I might lay down pocket aces pre-flop. What happens if you had something along the lines of like a guy moves all in and Dan Harrington calls in front of you, so you know he has the other 2 aces.
Right.
But in that case, I'm still going to call because I want half the other guy's stack.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm calling the chop, but I'm still going to chop that guy's money up. Get Francois moving over to seat number 3. Kia says goodbye.
Technically.
Now, we've been talking about the World Series of Poker, and the World Series of Poker will coincide with our own mini-series of poker. Really exciting. Our mini-series of poker actually starts on June 24th. Actually, June 25th. It actually, all of the mini-series events are actually one day before the real World Series events.
Yep.
So where the casino employee event is Monday, June 26th, the World Series, it's Sunday, June 25th here.
Got a raise here, I believe, by, I want to say seat 1. Joseph, he's got the overpair. 7-5-7 here.
I don't think anybody's going to call this.
Button's in seat 1. Again,
Yeah.
I think it was Joseph that raised.
He did raise.
And
He did raise, and he's
okay.
going to make
Yeah, he's gonna
continuation
make the bet
bet
on
here.
the button.
And I don't think anybody's going to call this. That's funny. Our tournament staff, I feel bad for them because the World Series is so late this year. They are actually going to the mini series runs from. Let me get this right. The mini series runs from June 24th to July 27th, and our tournament staff gets all of maybe 5 days off. And then the Legends of Poker, which is our biggest tournament of the year, starts on August 3rd. Unbelievable.
Denny Williams, Ron Kramer, and those guys.
Oh, they're going to be working their ass off. I tell you, what a summer for them.
Button moves over here to seat 2. Allen.
Breakaway 7 there. Says, God, I hate soccer.
Then we get into a conversation at the poker table today again about how it's kind of a catch-22 for the MLS because does the U.S. Soccer want their players to play overseas so they can play against better competition, or do they want to build up the MLS? You know what I mean? It's kind of a three-way action here. Ten deuce 7. Joseph just raised here with Queen 4.
Now, we talk about overcards. Now, this is one of those times where there are 2 overcards to my 6s, but I actually like the 6s better than if, to say, the flop came out Queen deuce 4. Because more often a queen or a jack or a king is in somebody's hand, while 10s and 7s not as often.
And Ryan is just all over the place. He's in there with Jack 3 of diamonds.
And he doesn't bet it. He checks it.
And
why not bet it?
Maybe check calls with 6s. Joseph just made a bluff at it with Queen High. And,
And Ryan calls.
And Joseph at the flop, he might have taken it down. The river's a diamond. Ryan's made a backdoor flush here.
He's not going to make any money, though, on it, does he?
Check. Yeah, I don't think BB's going to call here. No way. Obviously, Joseph can't call. He has nothing.
And BB's not going to call either. It's pretty transparent, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think BB's just posturing here. He's not going to call this.
I can't imagine. I mean, he can't beat the 7 either, right?
Can't beat anything. I mean, he can beat a 5, but I don't think Ryan's betting a 5. He probably just hopes to get shown down with a 5,
Ryan
right?
has shown down some hands here. Wow, he calls.
That's astonishing. I mean, I know it's really easy for us. We see the cards.
But what did he call with on the turn?
That's what I mean. I thought it was just pretty obvious. The guy checks the flop. Then he calls the turn. He overcalls the turn.
Yeah.
Now he bets big on the 3rd diamond. I mean, I know backdoor diamond, sometimes you don't see it, but the way that hand played out, I mean, I thought it was pretty transparent. Maybe I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to that I was going to say about the MLS. I actually brought that up to you, and I really think the U.S. soccer team will never be a force until they play in leagues where they can improve.
But my point to you is they don't want to go that direction. What they'd rather do is have the MLS improve to a Premier League.
Right.
They don't want to ship their talent over.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I mean, the MLS is a nice niche league, and it's not going to go anywhere, but at the same time, it's never going to be what the soccer leagues are across the world. Because interest in soccer is just
you
not
wonder,
that big.
can they get it up to the Premier League in the Americas, which is the Mexican league? That's the league really with the money in the Americas. I mean, even the South American leagues don't have money. That's why the best Brazilian players play in Europe. The only league with any real money is in Mexico. King, Queen, Deuce.
Open-ended straight draw here for seat 5. Michael's got open-ended. It is a rainbow board. Nice flop for that kind of hand, and it checks around. The turn is a jack of clubs, and he's now got the best hand with a pair of jacks, and you wonder if he's going to bet. And I believe he bet $15, and BB called with $15 with ace-6. Really?
Yeah,
He called $15 with ace-6?
he did indeed.
Actually, no, I'm sorry.
BB.
Oh, no, he did, yeah.
Yeah, he called.
It's very confusing. And then River's a 9.
Michael's got the straight.
I don't understand what BB's calling with. Ace-6?
Michael's going to bet here. I mean, you wonder if Michael checked, would BB have tried to take a shot at the river? I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all. Obviously, if a jack of diamonds had come off and BB's got the gut shot with the backdoor diamond draw, okay, but jack of clubs, I'm just not sure why he's calling, taking one off there. I just think if you look at the MLS here, I mean, they've always thought that, well, hey, let's capitalize on the World Cup and maybe soccer will really boom here. Maybe this will be the time that the MLS really booms. I mean, the MLS, it's a nice. I just don't see soccer ever really catching on that big in the United States.
Well, it's just because there's so many other sports. That's
Exactly.
the inherent problem.
I mean, it's clearly the number 6 or 7 or 8 sport here, and it's not going to move up.
And they really don't get a lot of coverage in terms of just sports
exactly.
and stuff.
If you're, I mean, I'll put it this way: if you are an athlete and you live in England, you're an athlete and you live in Brazil. You're an athlete, you play soccer.
Right.
If you're an athlete and you're here, you're playing basketball, you're playing baseball, you're playing football.
Got a raise here by the button. B-raise, Queens. A little raise by seat 1. Aaron is just like playing any 2.
Come on, Francois. And he looks at me, too. I'm raising because I want to live up the game.
Or excuse me, that's Joseph in seat 1 who's raised.
And it's an
Call,
easy lay down here for Francois.
call by Francois and a re-raise here by Aaron with Queens.
Aaron takes it down pre-flop.
If you walk through some of it, if you're big and fast, obviously that is a key in a lot of different sports. If you're big and fast, you can excel in soccer because you can learn the ball handling skills. But in this country, if you're big and fast, what sport would you play in and what position?
You play a lot of different sports.
No, but I'm thinking one specifically.
I don't know why you're thinking one specific.
I think
one?
wide receiver in football. That's where all the track stars go.
Yeah, but it's not just athletes. In America, kids watch. You see ESPN. You're watching the highlights. You want to emulate your stars. You want to emulate your idols. Most of those guys are football players, baseball players, and basketball players. And like you said, it's kind of a catch-22 though, because until the American stars play against better competition, they're never going to really improve.
Francois is going to raise here with King Queen suited, and he's going to take it down. I think it was funny that Landon Donovan, went over the European League and then creeped back to the MLS. I mean, what is the story behind that? And then just absolute no-show. Going to take a look at another chip count here.
Almost 5,000 on the table. Joseph's got the table coverage still. Michael's bringing up the rear there with $340. Let's see how they're doing. Yeah, Joseph's still a big winner, up $450. Ruben up $320. The rest of the table's pretty much down or even. Nobody down too much. Ryan only down 160.
Email here by Mark. It says, it's really a shame you guys only have an hour left to break into an argument to keep your streak going.
We'll see what we can do for you. Nice email from Alex Lee.
Yeah, I think you guys got something going on there.
Agreeing with me.
Joseph here has raised
you,
it
Alex.
up with 10s. And we're going to get called. We've got to see 5-way action here. Jack 5 deuce on the flop.
How about a flop for Aaron there? He's got a gut shot wheel draw plus the nut diamond draw. That's a real nice flop. You can go to war with a flop like that.
Joseph's going to bet out here just with one overcard. He's going to bet 50. Let's see what Aaron's going to do. And again, you talk about you don't really want to be calling raises. You're not deep in this game with ace rag suited. This is about as good as it's going to get here with this
flop. It's a great flop, and you realize that the fold equity, if Aaron raises there, 10s just can't continue.
Turns 6. And now Joseph's going to figure out, well, does the guy have a jack? Does he have a diamond draw?
Now, if Joseph checks to you, do you take the card or do you bet it?
I bet.
Thinking maybe he's got 9s or 8s, and I'm going to try to represent the jack.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Joseph's going to bet this, and wow, Aaron is just going to call.
And again, you can raise there too. I would have to at least raise on the flop or on the turn, Dave.
And Aaron quickly calls, and oftentimes a quick call. There's the ace, one of his outs. And this will probably check down now, I'm assuming. Or would you bet the ace if it gets checked to you?
I gotta tell you, savvy player bets here on the river. Now, if you get bet into, I think you call. But if it gets checked to you, I say you put a nice little tiny value bet in there. Wow. Or do you try to represent like you missed diamonds here? I mean, are you trying to use this and say, oh, I'm trying to represent nut diamonds here, but I don't have nut diamonds. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, now Joseph asked him how much he had left. Aaron told him he had about 320 left. Joseph thinking of what to do. He really can't beat much. Now you got to think of, was he calling me with the nut flush draw? And Joseph's going to put out kind of a small bet, $100 here, and I think it's an easy call for Aaron. I mean, unless you think Joseph was betting with ace-king or ace-queen the whole time, and now he finally got there.
Or, he was betting out a set of jacks the whole time.
The problem with just just calling the entire time, you don't really get any information. And Aaron now is sitting here going, he really doesn't know what's good and what's not good.
Yeah, he's going to make the call.
Yeah, any call.
But again, though, I mean, if you raise that flop, if you raise the turn,
you take it down.
If you raise the turn against a pre-flop raiser, it is definitely reasonable that you might have called a raise with 3-4. If you raise the turn, there's no way that the guy can come back over the top of you. It's either a fold or a call, and then you reevaluate if he calls. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much fold equity there when he
There really is.
6.
I mean, I really like raising the flop there.
Got an email here from Kostya clarifying the Sammy Farhad hand, and that was wrong. Excuse me, the turn card was a queen.
Oh, wow.
So that is another hand, but he said it was 1,000 and on the flop.
Okay.
Hudson had made it 450 to go pre-flop. The turn was a queen, putting a flush draw on the board. Hudson bet, Farhad raised, and Hudson moved in. Now, granted, that's a silly re-raise there by Hudson. However, with the pot already being pretty sizable on the flop, it's not unreasonable to drop there, albeit with a different betting line. I can tell you, with another queen out there, there's a bunch of stuff you can't beat now.
Right.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can't beat ace-10. It's really difficult to put him on ace-10.
You can't beat king-jack. Well, actually, no, excuse me, you can beat king-jack.
Yeah, you just can't beat ace-queen.
Yeah.
But you've got to realize,
pocket queens.
You've got to realize that Sammy there, he's not stupid. There's a reason why he came in second place to Chris Moneymaker. There's a reason why this guy is a perennial all-pro tournament poker player. I mean, this guy knows how to play poker. And you've got to realize that if he raises you and you re-raise, he's not going to call you at ace-jack or ace-king. There's really not any equity in re-raising him there.
Yeah, that's right. If he didn't bet, then
Bud moves over here, seat 9.
lose, but he could fold.
And obviously, I mean, the one thing Sammy obviously did not have the nuts there. He could have lost to ace-queen.
Raise 20 total. Re-raise.
I mean, think about the hands, obviously.
Make it 55 total.
The hands that either one of those players could have had the flop of, what was the flop? Ace, 10, right? Now, if you have 10s there, obviously somebody can beat you with ace-10 or pocket aces.
Get a raise here by Michael and a re-raise with ace-king, and Alan's got the same hand. Now, you said for you, it's easier and easier for you to fold this hand on the blind, raise or re-raise.
It really is. Well, although in this game it's a little bit different because I think ace-king in this game has a lot more value. If you hit your ace or your king, sometimes people just have trouble. Oftentimes you see players raising with ace-jack in this game and not able to get away from it.
Yeah. Michael just came in with garbage. I'm sure he's probably going to fold.
Yeah.
Multiple people have commented on how tight I am. I'm not the kind that would go for the flush draw.
That was a good laydown.
Another email says that Sklansky in Tournament Poker for Advanced Players, which I think is a pretty good tournament poker book, describes a situation when dropping aces pre-flop is correct. He says when you're at the final table, 3 players left, and the stacks are such that it's not worth it for you to try to triple up because of the prize money structure of 1, 2, and 3. If you guarantee yourself second spot.
I see what you mean.
Yeah. Also, of course, you drop aces and don't play any hands when you're guaranteed what is a seat in a super satellite as well.
Of course, yeah.
Because there's no
super satellite
you're not
or a
looking
mega
for first
satellite.
place. Yeah, yeah.
Where they're giving away 13 seats, and the 13th place and first place are the same difference.
Right, right.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
But moves here to seat 1.
Make a huge re-raise if somebody raises it.
So I guess theoretically, if there are 4 people left, 3 people have you so badly dominated, and the chip leader is all in against the other 2 players.
Yep.
Where he can knock out 2 players, and you can go from 4th place to 2nd place just like that.
8-way action here. A little exercise for Ronnie here. And look at this, ace jack and ace deuce here. Ace, 9, ace.
Now, we've seen Michael have trouble getting away from some big hands here.
Steve's got the second nut flush draw here.
Is Michael going to realize that his hand is vulnerable here? Obviously, he's in terrible shape with his kicker.
$15 bet here and a call. Now, if you're Francois, and Francois checked it from up front, and it looks like he is going to check raise. Now, it's an unraised pot, so you're only thinking you might lose to ace queen or ace king, and you would think that maybe someone would have raised with that pre-flop.
Right, obviously pocket 9s you'd be losing to as well.
And a quick call here by Michael.
Yeah, and I don't know Michael's getting away from this. I really don't.
Hey, look at this. The flush draw's out of there, and I think it's time for Francois to build this pot up. I think I have 100%.
And it's a nice laydown, by the way.
I think I have 100% the best hand here with ace jack. Well, the turn's at 3.
And the jack is going to play.
And look at this. And Francois moves in. The guy only has about 250 left. And can Michael get away from it? I really don't mind the bet here by Francois. I don't mind how he played it, really.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Remember, it's only a $240 bet.
Wow, I was really surprised Michael's calling here.
Are you?
Really?
Not at all.
No?
We've been watching him. He couldn't lay down jacks last week.
Yeah. River is a queen. The jack is going to play.
Yeah.
Now, we get a couple of emails here. One from Ben Dixon from Gregory Reviello saying, Hudson made a small mistake going broke on the turn. But for some reason, if they went to war on the flop, I don't think I'd get away from 2 10s there. Same thing that Ben Dixon said. In the first level, what would you do? Would you go broke with that hand?
No, obviously, we're talking about hypotheticals. I know this hand took place, but you've got to realize that if you're playing against a seasoned pro, one of the top players out there, you've got to realize what are they willing to go broke with.
Yeah.
You've got to start thinking of hands. Is Sammy there? Is he going to go broke with ace-jack? Just trip aces. Is he willing to put his tournament life, his main event, is he willing to throw it out there with ace-jack or ace-king?
Right.
That's what you got to start thinking about. Obviously, yeah, Oliver Hudson obviously got real unlucky, but you've got to start thinking of possibilities.
Right. Pocket queens here for Ruben. Ruben's played it pretty tight.
When all the money went in and Oliver Hudson turned over his 10s, was he really expecting Sammy to turn over ace-9?
Right.
Come on. Especially when the queen comes on the turn.
Yeah.
I think Sammy might have been a little scared when the queen comes on the turn.
Yeah. Ace queen, really.
Thinking the guy's probably got an ace, either ace king, ace queen, or ace jack.
Whalecock says, if soccer were being played on clay courts, would that piss Bart off? Yes, definitely. Oh, that Spaniard knit Nidal, I just can't. Thinking about it makes me cringe.
That's an interesting little post by Breakaway 7. He says, I saw a guy lay down aces face up pre-flop in a 2-5 no limit game because an ace was the exposed turn card. Now, I'll lay down 9s or 10s if I see an exposed 9 or 10.
Hard, yeah.
But if I have aces, I think they're good enough to play without the... I'm not looking for a set.
Right.
I might raise a little bit more than normal, though.
Got a raise here by Joseph. King, queen offsuit. Allen's going to call with deuces there.
And apparently Kevin Matta said it was the first hand of day 1B last year.
Yeah. So it probably was, it was
And here we go. The blind's at 25.50.
Yeah,
Sam,
it was raise, re-raise.
with ace-10 raised it to 200. Sorry.
King 9-9 here on the flop. Joseph's going to bet out here with king, queen. He's probably going to take it down here.
Betting 55.
Yeah, raise, re-raise, right? With
Pre-flop.
10s. Yeah, there you go. 200 by ace-10 offsuit. Make it 450 to go with 10s.
And actually, the flop came out ace-ace-10. Both players check slow playing their hands.
Yeah.
The turn is a queen. Hudson bets 300 into a pot containing about 925.
Yeah.
Farhar raises to 1300, making the pot 2525.
Yeah.
And Hudson then re-raises all in for his remaining 9,250.
Yeah.
Farhar calls instantly. Doesn't think, and obviously not thinking this guy would play an ace-queen that hard.
Right.
thinking, I had the second nuts, and would this guy play the first nuts that hard? Now, you've got to realize, obviously, Sammy knows that he has the second nuts, but with pocket tens, you've got like the fourth nuts. I mean, you lose to ace-queen, you lose to ace-10, you lose to pocket aces, you also lose to pocket queens. You have a fifth nut. I'm sorry, you can call me on crack. I think that's a terrible play by Hudson.
Oh, that's what I said. It was a vast overplay. Well, the guy, he's an actor, right?
I don't know.
He's not a professional poker player.
I have no idea who he is.
Yeah, he was one of Toby Maguire's buddies. So I mean, he's not a professional.
Oh, okay. I mean, obviously it sucks for him, but you've got to realize there's a big difference between Sammy calling with the second possible nut hand, and Oliver moving in with the fifth best hand possible.
And that was, of course, now shortly after that, that's the hand where Farhad against Hudson, when Hudson makes that huge raise with
Curtis.
Oh, excuse me.
Shortly after that, he busted Anthony Curtis.
Right, Curtis with the 3-3 when he flopped the set there.
Yeah.
No, but again, the point is that guy, I think he's an actor. I'm going to look it up right now. But he's not a pro, so Sammy's like, there's no way this guy's playing the first nut this way.
Right.
No way, right? That is a pretty crazy first hand, though.
Oh, it's insane. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately for Olivier Hudson there.
Got a raise here. Raise here by seat one.
Yeah, Joseph's raising it up here with ace-jack offsuit in early position, kind of middle position, actually. Allen is going to call with jack-10 suited. Beebe is thinking about it with jack-9. Now, I got to tell you, in position, I don't mind calling with jack-10. But I'm not going to call out of position. And obviously, with a hand like jack-10 suited, you are not looking for a jack.
Ace-8-4 here.
Yeah, nice flop for Joseph now. We don't have the jack-10 up there, but...
Again, when you raise with ace-jack, and I do raise with ace-jack, sometimes ace-jack suited. And look at this. Allen's going to call. I think Allen's going to try to represent something. Maybe he's picked up backdoor spades here on the turn. Turns a diamond. Can he represent this? But Joseph's got the ace of diamonds. And he's going to bet again here.
Betting 75.
I just don't...
Bet 75. Well, now Allen's not going to represent.
I don't understand the call on the turn on the flop at all. Nothing wrong with Joseph's game, obviously. He's playing pretty well tonight. But in this game, are you really looking to make moves?
Well,
are you looking to set up moves? Are you looking to float one off and set up move up?
The one criticism of Allen's game I had I think it was Surfing the Line and I wrote in was if you watch Allen, he almost plays too fast, Dave, when he calls. Like, he doesn't think at all. He just when he's called, it just goes right in there.
And if he ever has to think about something, it gives away a lot of information.
Yeah. Button moves over here to seat 6. I mean, I have no problem with fast play, but he almost plays it too fast.
Right.
I mean, it's impossible for him to actually think through what's going on because he plays so fast, Ace-Queen of Hearts here for seat 7.
Now I'm going to give you a hypothetical question. I'll give everybody at home a hypothetical question as well. If in the first level, would you go broke? Would you go to felt, or at least try to double up, with second set?
Right. Dr. Beebe here is going to raise it up. Second set on an unstraighted board on the flop.
Yeah, queen 9-4.
Yeah.
Queen 9-4, you've got a set of 9s in a raised pot. Are you willing to go broke? Are you willing to go all the way with that hand?
Now, we had a raise by seat 1. Joseph is really... Oh, actually, excuse me, Beebe raised. Beebe raised it out of the blind, and Joseph called with jack 6 of diamonds.
And Joseph outflops him, but he has no idea he's good.
Check. Beebe did not continuation bet.
Well, Beebe can catch an ace, a queen, or a 10.
Turns a 9. Joseph's got a diamond draw now.
Well, yeah, now Beebe needs an ace, a queen, or a 10 that is not a diamond.
Joseph bets here, and Beebe calls.
So Beebe's only got 4 outs. I want to say 7 outs now to the win.
And the river's a diamond. Joseph's made the flush.
Yep.
Beebe checks. Joseph's going to bet out here again.
Yeah, and obviously Beebe's not going to call this.
$75 bet. I thought Beebe's made some move. He moves all in. He moves all in. I had a feeling for some reason.
How did you have a feeling?
I'm telling you, Dave, I don't think he bought the backdoor diamonds thing. Why would he call the turn? That's my question.
He just moved all
He
in?
moved all in.
Well, what do you do if you're Joseph here? Now, unfortunately for Joseph, well, not unfortunately for Joseph, fortunately for him, he doesn't know Dr. Beebe. What do you do with Jack 6 of diamonds here? He's going to call.
Yeah.
Look at him. I got a flush. Should I call? I think he's going to call, right? I mean, he doesn't know Dr. Beebe. He doesn't know Dr. Beebe doesn't bluff. But would you call?
Well, I mean,
what a read
I
by
guess
you. How did you know he was going to make a move?
I guess you
I thought he was just calling to see if he could hit a 10 or an ace.
And
he
he
called.
made
Yeah,
the
I
call.
said
I
it's
mean,
gonna
I think Beebe would have to have specifically ace queen of diamonds here.
He could have ace king of diamonds or ace jack of diamonds.
Yeah, and then check the flop, check call the flop, and check call the turn with ace king of diamonds. I just think that, like I said, I had a feeling Beebe was going to make a move there because
How?
He called the turn.
Beebe?
I don't think he thought he bought that the guy had anything because it went check on the flop, Dave. And now the guy bets the turn and he bets the river with the third diamond. And I think Beebe was like,
Wow, you're good. You're really good, man. As bad as you were last night is as good as you are tonight. Unbelievable.
the check raise bluff there at the end. Beebe didn't buy it. Oh, so anyways, it's an interesting.
I wanted to know, do you call that Jack 6 of
Well,
diamonds?
I'm not in there with Jack 6. I mean, let's say I had Jack 10 of diamonds there.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have to look at the pot and I'd have to really replay the hand back. I don't remember
I
exactly.
mean, you got
what
to
it
know, what is Beebe check raising me with? Man.
But to get to your question, though.
Okay, yeah. Flop comes out. I'm gonna ask everybody the same question. It's a raised pot. A gentleman in middle position raises it up. You have no idea who he is. You don't know him from Adam, okay? We're talking 45 minutes into the first round. You've got about 9,500 in chips.
Right.
He makes it like 450 to go. You look down at pocket nines. You go, you know what? Let's see if I can win a big pot. So you call. A couple of the players call too. So the pot's about 2,000.
Yeah.
Flop comes out queen 9-4. So you have middle set. Okay, a couple of diamonds out there. And somehow you bet right into him because let's say you're before him. You bet right into him. He raises you. You re-raise, and then he moves all in. Because that's how you like to play your sets. So you bet right into him. You want him to raise with aces or ace queen, right? So he raises you. And I'm asking everybody the same thing. He raises you. Then you re-raise him, and then he moves all in. And the pot is like 18,000 chips. Actually, the pot's probably 20,000 chips. Maybe it's 4,500 to call.
Both players have straights here with the 8, and Joseph is on a free roll here with clubs.
You gotta love that, don't you? If you think your opponent has an 8 here, would you ever move in?
I don't know how you. I mean, but Joseph, he bet the flop, and Michael called. I mean, what do you put Michael on? 10-8? He called with 8-9. $50 bet here and a call by Joseph.
And if a club comes, obviously Michael's not going to he probably won't lose much.
River's a 7. Joseph checks.
And they're going to chop it up. Now, I mean, I always hate
Would you
those.
bet an 8 there at the end if it got checked to you?
Yeah, I think you need to.
Yeah.
Unless you put your opponent on queen 8 or king queen.
I mean, I guess there were 3 flush cards out there, but still.
Well,
that
I always hate
mean,
those ridiculous. The ridiculous. Would you fold aces pre-flop or
Well,
this?
you know, that one's a little bit different. I thought you were going to kind of ask me, like, if the board came out. That one I actually might see myself possibly laying down, especially if you said there were 2 diamonds out there, because the guy might be protecting against that. You know, if you actually say rainbow board and you disconnect the cards, I thought you were going to ask a question where you disconnect the draws on the flop, and you have second set, and there is no flush draw, and there is no straight draw. How about that? I think that changes things a lot. Because I say most people who are playing, I call tournament donks, are going to be mostly in the World Series.
You don't know this guy. You don't know from Adam. This guy could be a world-class internet player that you don't know who he is.
My thought process.
Oh, okay.
Jeez. Got a raise here by Joseph. Because the point is, again, Joseph's going to raise it up here with ace 10 of clubs. Look, all the aces are dead. I understand I don't know this guy, but what I'm saying is if I change that question around and it's a disconnected flop, say the flop is deuce, 6, 10. Okay, and there wasn't like a lot of pre-flop action. Maybe it was limped around. Rainbow. You know, a guy bets, I raise, he re-raises, or he pushes in. I say the typical player does not play top set that hard. I know I do.
You mean if the flop came out, let's say the flop came out king, 7, deuce, rainbow, you have a set of 7s. You don't think he plays a set of kings that hard.
Right,
and
but
you think you probably
remember, though, a
does.
set of kings is probably going to induce some sort of raise pre-flop.
No, I was talking about raise pre-flop, yeah.
But I'm switching the question around, and I'm actually saying limped around
Okay.
a couple of ways, and the flop comes 10, 6, deuce, rainbow. Because your question with the queen 9 blank with 2 diamonds, a guy might play a set of queens that way because it's a connected board. But a total dry connected board with no draws, you've got second set. Would somebody play top set that hard? I might go broke with middle set there.
Well, I'm gonna
I
ask
don't
you-
believe it.
I'd like to know your answer on my question first. Do you throw away 9s there?
I
Let's say you call in the big...
I think I'm more apt to throw away 9s than the example that I gave, for
Okay.
sure. 4-way action here.
Are you going to commit to an answer or no?
No. Call me Mr. Vague.
Open-ended straight draw for seat number 5. Michael's got it.
Joseph's going to come out and bet here with top pair. And Michael's going to call. Well, he's going to raise.
And I like this raise. I really do. It's a rainbow board. If you get called, you have outs. And obviously there is fold equity. And you have position on Ryan. If you have position on Joseph. Now, Ryan's behind you, but I don't think Ryan can call this. I really don't. And he doesn't. Now, Joseph's going to call, but he'll probably give you the free card. If you want it, you can take it. Now, against Joseph, I don't think there's much fold equity, so I take the card. I really do. See if I can hit my set. See if I get my straight, I mean.
Turns a 4 here, 4 of diamonds.
And he's going to... Wow.
He's going to come out and bet here. Wow.
See, I mean, a very odd play. Normally, if somebody ranges you, you'll check to him and see what he does, but he's going to bet again.
Well, maybe he puts the guy on a draw.
He's almost representing a 4 here.
He's going to bet 60.
It's a heck of a read. I mean, the only draws out there, obviously, are 3-5 or 5-6. It's almost as if he took a shot at it with ace-4 and caught trips now, and he's going to bet into you with trips.
Remember, when we talk about that type of flop there, if you have 3-5, I think the obvious draw that people see is 5-6, and you might be able to represent 5-6. Now,
I was going to throw it away.
I wouldn't try, Dave, having 5-6 and representing 3-5 because I don't think people see that as much.
And the river's a 3. You would have gotten there.
Yeah. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, if you've got the common straight draw there, which people would put you on, I wouldn't try to represent the up and down open ender. But if you've got that 3-5,
I wouldn't try to represent anything in this game.
Yeah, probably not.
If I'm going to try to represent something, it's going to be against a real good player who's paying attention.
Yeah. Those 2 gappers, sometimes those are the up and down open ended, like a 9-6 on a 7-8 blank board, right? Where somebody might think you have 9-10, but instead you have 9-6, but you can represent 9-10 because it's obvious. But I wouldn't do it the other way around. I think you tried to do that once against one of those Texas guys.
I did.
And it didn't work. He still.
I thought he was a very good player.
Yeah, you had the up and down one, and you were representing, I think, 5-6. But you had up and down, and he still didn't get away from 2 pairs.
He actually even said, he goes,
yeah,
5-6 is good.
Right. I remember that hand. 5-way action here. Ace-3 queen. A couple wheel draws in here. Joseph's got a wheel draw.
That's 25.
And Aaron's going to bet out here at total bluff. Bets 25, and Joseph calls with the gut shot to the deuce.
Now, we talk about sometimes the problem with going for draws like that. You go for a draw like that, which is obviously a long shot to hit. You're hoping that you're going to make a lot of money. Your implied odds should be huge. But in this case, you look, Aaron doesn't even have anything. 3 on the river, and Aaron is actually good with 10 high.
He's going to bluff at it.
And obviously he thinks he needs to bet, and he bets, and Joseph quickly throws away 5 high.
Email here by John Woo. He says, hey, guys, I remember seeing Min the Master going broke early during the World Series with pocket aces. He moved all in on the flop. The other guy called with a flush draw. The flop was 2 diamonds with 3 rags, 2 suited, which brings the question on the flop with 2 flush cards. Is it wise to make it pricey to draw to the flush on the next card? but not too pricey, which would put the guy all in with 2 cards remaining? Or would it make sense to go all in on the flop? What's the optimal strategy?
Well, obviously, we're talking about tournaments here, which is completely different.
Yeah.
You know, some people subscribe to the theory where they want to kind of keep the pot small with one pair until they see a couple of safe cards. Then they see the safe turn card, then maybe they push hard there. Because they know some bad players will call with flush draws, and they don't want to lose. They don't want to go out that way. Francois got queens here. What's the correct strategy? Who knows?
And Francois is going to raise it up here. Michael has called, and you can see, Michael might be a little bit fuming a little bit here with ace-9 offsuit, Dave. I mean, he's really playing a lot more hands. Joseph's in there with queen-8 again. Queen-8 of clubs. I mean, last time he laid it down, and now he's going to play it again. Ace-7 jack here.
Well, Michael's got the best hand here, but how does he know he's good?
And he doesn't even bet.
Well, I mean, you lose with ace-deuce, and it kind of makes you shy.
Turns a 5. Francois checks again.
Francois is not buying it. He just goes, one of these guys got a queen. And now Michael's going to put a little money in there.
If this goes, what the hell is Steve doing? He's going to call with a gut shot. Well, I guess that's going to get Francois out of there. I thought if Michael bet there and Francois called, I would definitely value bet ace-9. I'd put Francois on kings or queens. Now I don't even think Francois is going to continue now. Not with the call. I don't think he can overcall here.
No, it's an easy lay down.
Yeah. But if he were to call Michael's bet, wow, he's going to overcall.
We know nothing about poker. It's obvious.
He's got the case queen to get. Here we go to the river. River is a king. And now Francois is going to come out and bet, maybe trying to represent like he's got pocket kings. He bets 100. And the only thing that you can beat here, actually, if you're Michael, is pocket queens, right? The way this hand, look at that, it worked.
Are you kidding me? That's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Okay, so I want to read that email by Ben Dixon. Said here, you say Hudson had the 5th nuts. Well, Farrar called all in with a 3rd nut hand. Pocket queens had him beat as well. Actually, no, I was trying to, I don't think, oh, there's Ray. I tell you, man, Ray is the man. Pocket queens had him beat as well. And pocket queens would be queens full of aces. And actually, no, aces full of 10s is better than queens full of aces.
Right, queens does not beat Farrar.
Farrar did have the 2nd nut, right?
Yeah, he does.
And he says, what happens, and he says, I wouldn't have moved all in after Sammy's raise, but what happens when Oliver bets the river? Or if he checks and Sammy makes a $3,500 to $4,000 bet, Oliver would have to call anyway. Not necessarily. You have to reevaluate it there.
I think we have a correction email, just like when you said that there.
Oh.
Please ignore my last email.
Sorry, Ben.
Yeah.
Ben out of Norman, Oklahoma. I do that sometimes, too. Misread hands. Obviously, just check out the archives. You can hear me misreading hands all the time. I mean, that's where you're really talking difficult things. When you have a 2nd nut hand, something like Queen 9-4, and you have second set 9s there.
Again, though, like I said, I think my question is a little bit more intriguing than your question.
Of course you would.
My scenario. On an unconnected, unraised flop with a rainbow
Why,
and no straight possibilities.
Because you don't think somebody would want to protect their hand if they had pocket aces there, or pocket kings there?
No, I think that somebody would.
That's what I mean. So Queen 9-4 with 2 diamonds, if you have second set of 9s, might somebody play pocket aces the same way they play set of queens again? Being scared.
No, right. No, I understand that. But I think the real telltale is, can you commit all your chips with second set, like I said, on that type of unconnected board? Because would somebody really play top set that hard? Like I said, maybe you and I would. Some of those tournament donks out there. I love that tournament donk. We got a bet here by A bet by Michael raised by Joseph. And Michael re-raised. None of these guys have a pair. And a call. And the turn's a jack. And now Michael outturns him. But Joseph's open-ended now. And now Michael moves in. A bet, a raise, a re-raise, and a call with absolutely nothing.
And Joseph's up a huge amount of money right now, but I don't think he can call this.
Yeah.
Kenny, I mean, the pot is about, I want to say the pot is close to $400, maybe $140 to call.
Yeah.
He's getting about 3-1 on his money. With one card to come, he's not, well, he's about a 3-1 dog. It's one of those times if you want to gamble, the pot might just be laying you enough. And I don't mind the laydown at all. The river would have been a deuce of diamonds. You would not have gotten there. Michael takes it down.
The man on 2+2 says it's been about 2 hours. Anyone think that Asian guy in seat 6 is going to go on tilt soon? Which Asian guy?
I know.
I know.
He's gone already.
Oh, he left. Oh,
He left.
yeah,
He
yeah,
left.
yeah.
Who's out of here?
Oh, man. Button moves over here to seat 4.
Once again, the small blind, big blinds are $5 in this game. This is a restricted buying game. You can buy anywhere from 300 to 500. Obviously, as this game goes on, the game plays pretty big. Yet the blinds stay at 5 and 5, so your strategy has to stay different. It almost starts out a little short stacked, and then it becomes deep stacked. You look at somebody like Francois there, who has over $1,000 in seat number 1. Joseph's got over $1,000 also. And this game can get real deep real quick.
Sometimes I was telling you today, I mean, the game has been so awful here in the 500 game, I might start playing the 3 to 5 game more during the day. 4s against ace-10 here, ace-9, king.
Easy flop for Francois to get away from. And Aaron will bet it. He put continuation bet out there, and I imagine Francois is going to throw it away.
7.
And he does. Once again, we're live at the bike. I'm David Tuckman here at Bart Hansen. You can catch us every Monday through Friday from 7 to 10 Pacific time. If you miss any part of a show, go to our website and check it out because we do a replay of the show at 11 p.m. Pacific time and then every 3 hours until 5 p.m. the following day. We also replay the entire week on Sunday starting at noon.
Looks like Barry Woods started a How Gay Is Bart poll. You know, Breakaway 7 says, did Bart really just throw out a Sex and the City reference with that Mr. Big comment? I have no idea what he's talking about. Did you say something that he thought was me?
I rarely pay attention to what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I actually have only watched Sex and the City a couple of times, and I definitely have never referenced the show. Believe me, I would admit to it. Interesting. Got a raise here.
Out of seat 9.
Actually, he's the one that moved over from seat 6.
Right, exactly. He is the gentleman they were referring to. That might go on tilt. And it's going to go 4 ways here. We got about I want to say an $85 pot 4 ways to the flop. 10-3 deuce.
Joseph's hit top pair.
Now, that's a hand I probably bet. Yeah, well, look at that. BB checks it. I probably bet if I'm BB. I probably bet right into it and see where I'm at.
Steve makes the continuation bet here. And once again, Joseph is in a decision with top pair, no kicker. Again. Now,
time and time again.
8-10 suited is a better hand than Queen 8, but you're not necessarily looking to hit the 10 with the 8-10.
No, not really.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to assume that your card is probably live. You don't think Steve is raising with Ace 10 or King 10 or Queen 10. But obviously, Steve could easily have an overpair, jacks or higher. And there's the Queen, and Steve has now got him, and he's going to continue betting there. No reason not to. So many times we see players, they bet when they bet a bluff.
125.
Then they get there and they check it. And Joseph puts himself in these situations where, what is this guy betting? Could he have kings? Could he have aces? He bet the flop, so you might not think the queen helped him. But I think he's going to throw this away.
Barry Woods, I mean, from the comfort of his own home, still ribbing, you know.
You don't want to miss tomorrow night's action. Tomorrow night we've got a lot of good action. It's our big game. It's our Friday night double fist night. We've got 10, 20 blinds tomorrow night. Minimum buy-in of $1,000. We usually have it in excess of 30 grand on the table.
Button moves over here to seat 6. Got about 10 minutes left in the show here. Remember, I always think it's a funny story that when you met your wife and her mother thought you were gay.
Well, we were both doing plays, and I was
Right.
playing a gay guy.
Right. But they thought you were gay in real life.
Well, because I'm a good actor.
Did you talk like different with like a lisp a little bit? I mean, did you talk with like kind of like a like an effeminate lisp? How did you act where they thought you were gay?
I'm not even going to go there. I mean, did you just say?
What?
Did you just say, did you talk with a lisp?
Yeah.
As if gay people all talk with lisps?
Well, my question is, you said you're acting like a gay guy, so what did you do different? That's my point.
I was playing a character that was gay.
Okay. So they just thought you were gay. I mean, what I mean was, did they want you to be flamboyant about it?
No, my character wasn't flamboyant. My character didn't have a lisp either. I don't know. I guess my character is one of the few gay people out there that didn't have a lisp and wasn't flamboyant.
Great.
I know
Way to
most
turn that
gays
away
are.
and made me make me look like an ass. Thanks, Tuckman.
No, trust me. You need no help doing that. That's all of you. I mean, come on.
Oh man.
Check out the archives and listen to what you. I mean, I can't believe you said that. So how did you do it? Did you talk with a lisp?
What I meant was like I said, was the character had to be flamboyant.
Yeah, no, actually, I was not playing a flamboyant. I was actually playing kind of a coming-of-age guy who was. I played like an 18-year-old kid who was kind of like coming to grips with his own sexuality. And wasn't quite out of the closet. Wasn't comfortably out of the closet yet.
You didn't fold it. Yeah, you did. No one told you.
And I guess I was convincing enough that my wife and her mother thought I was gay.
It's okay, though.
He's having a baby in a couple days. So
You having a baby? Oh, he's having
But
Mark this down. This is one of the few nights that
Okay, you know
I think I've avoided offending anybody. But you've probably done quite a good job yourself.
Didn't mean to come out that way. I apologize.
No. Don't apologize.
Dr. BB Reyes is here with Ace Queen.
We like to advertise this show is definitely politically incorrect.
Now it's not going to call him a King Jack.
Actually, my wife was playing. It was kind of a night of one-act plays, and my wife, obviously not wife at the time, but she was actually playing a girl who was confused about her own sexuality. I know, surprise, surprise. 2 plays about gay people in West Hollywood.
That's all what's going through my head when I made that call. And the first
Which theater in West Hollywood?
I know
It was actually not in West Hollywood. It was actually at the Second Stage Theater in Hollywood on Santa Monica Boulevard, like Santa Monica and Cahuenga, right around there.
Oh, okay.
that's why you laughed. I knew, like, once you got your text
Button moves
message,
over
I
here to
was
seat
like,
8.
I knew what I have now.
Limped around here. Ryan's going to limp. Where's see 6-way action?
I don't think it's a bad day, though. Why did you go
8-8-6 here on the flop.
the worst case?
And Ryan's got trip 8s here. And he's going to bet. He's going to bet 25.
Don't worry about it. The first time I told my friends back
It looks like 7-9 got out of there with the open-ended straight draw with paired board. I think Allen had 7-9.
don't feel bad.
when I
It's over to Josh, and he's out.
Yeah, Ryan takes it down.
It's not a big deal. I'm serious.
Why didn't you tell them after the show was over? So that if that happened, you didn't have to tell them.
Button moves here to seat 9.
Well, they don't have to know that. I mean,
Who won the Dallas-Miami game?
well, no one expects.
Wow, and Miami wins the game and ties it up 2-2.
Wow.
Unbelievably.
Now,
you
that's
know,
a 2
back from the dead.
That's a 2-3-2 format, right?
Yeah, really. It's man, I can't believe that Miami. They look like they as good as dead. They were down 13 points with 6.5 minutes. And I'm not a big basketball fan, but I really appreciate the finals of almost any event because obviously it's all on the line.
I don't understand. I told you I like the 2-2-1-1-1.
Yeah, I do too.
Better than
I agree with you.
2-3-2. But
I mean, can you believe Dallas was up by 13 points with 6.5 minutes to go in Game 3.
Yeah.
They blow that lead, and instead of going up 3-0 and basically, putting a nail in the coffin, they let Miami back in it. Miami wins Game 4. Oh, man, we got a series now.
Dr. Beebe's going to raise it up here to 25 with King, Jack, and Diamonds.
I like the raise in late position. He buys himself the button by doing that. Talk about the power of position. Oftentimes you'll see Bart and me, you'll see us raising in say, the hijack spot. You'll see us raising in a cutoff seat with good hands but not great hands because the power of that, obviously, you get the players behind you to fold, you buy yourself the button, and you now have position on all later streets.
And we're going to take a look at the last chip count here of the night.
5,500 on the table. Francois, the chip leader, with 1,200. Joseph in second place with 1,000. Let's see how they're doing.
I think Michael has gotten absolutely crushed today here, Dave. Let's see. Yeah,
Yeah,
doubtful. BB's he's a big loser with that check raise bluff on the river. I mean, that one hand, man.
Wow. And it's funny, that bluff works in the big game because all those players know him. But in a game like this, they don't know who he is, and they don't really care who he is.
Right.
And they're not going to buy it.
And they're going to chop this one up. Again, tomorrow we're playing 10, 21,000.
Right.
No limit holder.
And just for the record, I'm pretty sure Bart is not gay.
Really?
I'm pretty sure you're
Oh,
not.
okay.
I don't think you are. I have a lot of gay friends, and I don't think you're gay. You don't dress that well.
You kind of have that gaydar going.
Yeah.
I actually think, I don't dress well here. But like when I before I had this job, when I go out and stuff, I actually have nice clothes.
No, I have no doubt you have nice clothes,
Yeah.
but I don't think you're gay. I'll just leave it at that. Nothing wrong with being gay if you were gay. I'd still be your friend.
Really?
I'll give you that.
Live to
Like I said, I have a lot of gay
Five-way
friends.
Straddled pot here and a raise by seat 5. He's got ace queen.
You should say it. That's for my brother. Say it out loud.
75.
Gonna make it 75 to go here.
Say that's for your brother. Say it before I call. Okay, let's make it again. How about that? I'll make it 400. You make it 500. I'm out. So but you give me the money back. I have nothing. You want to, yes or no? No? I have nothing. I'm going to give you the money.
And nobody's going to call Michael here. He takes it down.
Take it down.
No, he has at least an ace.
And you look at this game here, and there really is no, I want to say weak player, is there? I mean, I don't know how many strong players there are, but it's not like this game there's a big action player that's just kind of giving money away. Oftentimes we do see that sometimes in the 3 to 5 games.
Actually, he was asleep because he has to wake up early. He has to watch the Argentina. Oh, that's
Big line.
Argentina versus
Butt moves over here to seat 3. Francois.
There we go. They got the quote-unquote here by the
Yeah.
station. Do all gay guys talk with a lisp? Priceless live at the bike.
So you never answered my question about a second set unconnected board with no heat pre-flop. Do you go to
Well, if
war
it's
with
no
that?
heat pre-flop, you got to obviously start thinking of hands. You go, would this guy raise with pocket tens? What position is he in?
9-5 deuce.
9-5 deuce
that
if I have
rainbow.
pocket fives.
Yeah.
I've got to think, okay, this guy is giving me an awful lot of heat. Did he slow play aces, and is he going to go
Right.
broke with them?
Right.
Or does he have a set? Remember, he could also go to war with a set of deuces.
Exactly. Turns a 3 here. King, 6, 3. 3. And Michael's got trip 3s.
I got to tell you, call me a donkey, but if I get second set, I'm usually going to go to war with that. More often than not. I mean, I've got to have some
Well, especially in the later rounds. So you
I've got to have, even in the early rounds, I've got to have some really compelling evidence for me to throw away second set. On the flop, I mean. I'm not talking about a 6, 7, 8 all diamonds board.
Michael is check raised here. We never saw Francois' hand. He's got cards over there in C3. He's got King 4. He checked the flop.
Well, he's got the best hand. Actually, not
No,
anymore.
because Michael
He
check
had
raised
the
here
best
on
hand.
the 3, yeah.
And it's an easy laydown right now. If you're going to play King 4 that soft, Obviously, you're playing King 4 diamonds. You're not looking for that kind of flop. Aaron looking for some sort of read, but Aaron can't even beat the king.
No.
What do you think this guy's check raising with? 4 or 5 of hearts? I mean, I'm going to take for granted if I'm playing in a game, and obviously when you play in tournaments and you play in a cash game when you don't know the players, oftentimes Bart and I are privy to, we know a lot of the players we play with, and I like that. Obviously, it gives me a big advantage when I know the players I'm playing with. But if you go down to Vegas, and obviously we're going to be playing against players we don't know, we're going to have to quickly assess how they play. Well, I'm going to assume that most of the players are not bluffing until I see them bluffing. I'm not going to make big calls against players until I see them bluffing. It's just not something I'm going to be looking to do.
Open limp here by Ryan with ace 10 of hearts. Ace jack suited over here for
I mean,
Allen.
more often than not, if people are check raising on the turn or raising on the turn, they've got big hands.
Now, there's more like big-time stacked semi-bluffing in big bluffs in tournaments than there are in cash games, especially if you play deep in cash games, because people aren't going to commit real cash. Allen limped in with the ace-jack in late position. He's going to bet here, jack-7 deuce on the flop.
Take it down, I'm sure.
And this is going to be the last hand of the night here. I mean, interesting, like, too, even a flop like that, Dave, jack-7 deuce rainbow in a limped around pot in the first couple levels. Somebody might not raise with jacks in the first few levels. It's not a battle of the blinds in the main event in the first two levels.
Definitely not. You're playing. Why are you playing pocket jacks? You're playing pocket jacks to possibly win a big pot.
Right.
How do you win a big pot? Flop a set.
Right.
You know what? Do I really want to go to war if the flop comes out 9-5 deuce and I have pocket jacks?
Right. I'm just saying, like, that was another example of a flop if you have a set of jack-7
Definitely.
deuce, set of sevens.
Nice post here from Breakaway 7. He goes, my God, you finally have everyone ripping on Bart for being gay, and you have to throw in a comment about the theater. Come on, Doc. Anybody familiar with, like, I've already told you guys, I was a dual major, biology and theater major.
I was a theater minor.
I had the set of threes. I had the.
Ray apparently has been to the theater. Ray also knows how to bake.
Ace deuce, that's a queen.
Michael has raised with 10 deuce offsuit here for the last hand of the night. Yeah, he made that, what is that, pineapple upside down cake a couple months ago?
That was phenomenal.
Yeah. You know what? We're not going to see a flop, but I'm going to make the executive decision to end this right now.
Are you kidding? Who do you think you are?
That's going to do it for us tonight.
That's it?
That's it. That's it.
Really?
So,
You guys are going to let him get away with that?
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
believe it.
It was an interesting game. It was a little slow towards the end. Come back tomorrow for 10-20 no limit. Same cast of characters. Check out the video blog. It'll be up tomorrow morning. For Dave Tuckman, I'm Bart Hanson. Good night, everybody, from Live at the Bike.
It's here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.